A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Are you there? Well, we're here.
Swan's a soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing to Swan.
Swan, the new white floating soap, presents the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singer, Jimmy Cash, your old friend, Bill Goodwin, the Six Hits and a Miss, and the stars of our show, George Burns and Gracie Allen. And now to the Burns house where we find George and Gracie.
Well, Gracie, isn't it nice to be back home again?
Oh, yes. Everybody's been so sweet to us. Wasn't that a wonderful homecoming party our neighbors gave us last night?
Say, that was quite a party.
Yes, I love those games we played. Wasn't it a ride when they blindfolded me and I tried to pin the tail on the donkey?
Yes, a panic.
Oh, that reminds me, dear. Would you like another cushion under you?
No, thanks. I heal pretty fast.
And wasn't it fun when we took turns acting out famous events of history? They never did guess ours.
No, they didn't do that.
It was easy, too. The purchase of Manhattan Island from the Indians. I just stood there and you gave me $24.
That's right.
I can't understand why everybody thought it was Moses getting water out of a rock.
Well, neither can I.
Are you sure you don't want another cushion, dear?
No, what for?
Well, you're sitting there tilted.
I always sit that way.
I would have enjoyed the party last night a lot more if you hadn't been so mean to me, though.
I was mean to you?
Well,
When?
remember when they wanted me to make a little speech because I was the guest of honor?
Yeah.
And I asked you to hold my plate of chicken salad and my cup of coffee?
Well, I held them, didn't I?
Well, yeah, but when I finished my speech, you were the only one who didn't applaud.
Gee, I'm a dog.
Oh. You never treated me that way before we were married. You used to be the sweetest, the most thoughtful man in the world. Every 10 minutes you tell me how beautiful I was.
Oh, don't I still do that?
No. And you don't realize that a woman loves to be told she's beautiful. Even women who aren't beautiful love to be told they are. Although there, of course, I'm only guessing.
From now on, I'll tell you you're beautiful.
Well, I should hope so. My goodness, it isn't as if I were asking you to lie to me.
Of course not.
Oh, now, you were cute when you courted me, though. You were so charming and so handsome. Of course, that was a long time ago.
Naturally, yes.
George.
Yes?
Do you remember our first date?
Uh-huh.
I was so excited. I was hoping you'd bring me flowers because Mama had such a lovely remembrance of her first date with Papa. He brought her flowers and she saved every one. She pressed them between the pages of a book.
She did, huh?
Uh-huh. You brought me chocolates, remember?
Mm-hmm.
My, I'd love to see them today. I wish I'd get that book open.
Gee, that box of chocolate certainly brings back memories. We just started keeping company then.
Mm-hmm.
I was in vaudeville playing Altoona.
Yes.
Right after the show, I'd rush back to New York to keep a date with you. I'd tell you all the jokes in the show, and you'd laugh and laugh.
Yeah. You said I was a lot different from the people in Altoona.
Well, I didn't bring them any chocolate.
Oh.
Yes. Hey, every time I came to see you, that tall fellow would always be sitting there. What was his name?
Oh, that was Joe Spencer, your rival.
Ah, Joe Spencer. What a rival. Flappy ears, big buck teeth, and no chin.
Yeah. For the longest time, I didn't know which one of you to marry.
It's a nice TL for me.
Remember how shy and backward Joe was? He was so bashful.
Mm-hmm.
He's married now and got 6 children.
Yeah, bashful, yeah.
Oh, were you crazy about me in those days? Remember every time we went to a restaurant, you'd take your spoon and write, roses are red, violets are blue, Gracie Allen, I love you, and the mashed potatoes.
Well, you got bigger helpings in those days.
Drew, we had so much fun when you used to take me out on dates. But now how do you treat me? Just like I was married to you.
But we are married. A preacher conducted a legal ceremony and pronounced us man and wife.
Well, he certainly killed a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, we were buddies.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if
Playmates.
all... Yes.
We were, yes.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if all...
You are my very dear friend.
Yes. Look, wouldn't it be wonderful if all married couples could recapture the thrill of their courtship?
Well, it certainly would.
Well, we can.
How?
Ask me for a date.
Gracie, that's silly.
Oh, please, George. After all, when you asked me to do something nice for you once I married you, didn't I?
Gracie, married people don't ask for dates.
Well, you're very mean, George. I just asked you for a simple little thing.
Well,
Not like I'm asking for a mink coat or a bill or something like that.
Okay, I'll ask you for a date.
Oh, all right. But you, just like you used to, huh?
Okay. Honey, what are you doing tonight?
I'm busy.
You're busy?
Sure. I'm popular.
Well, I'm glad. Then you're going out with somebody else.
No, George, you didn't do it right, no. You have to go out and come in like you were coming from Altoona, like you used to, full of jokes and everything.
Look, Gracie, I'm a
Oh,
grown-up.
now, George Burns, please.
All right, I'll do it. At least that Joe Spencer with the buck teeth won't be sitting here.
Oh, still jealous, huh? Well, anyway, dear, count to 50 before you come in. I want a pencil little here.
All right. Well, I wonder if other husbands have to go through things like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Hello, George.
11. Hello, Bill. 12, 13, 14, 15.
You going out?
No, I'm coming back. 16, 17, 18, 19 from Altoona. 20, 21.
George, have you gone crazy?
No, 22, 23. You see, I'm not married to Gracie. I'm her boyfriend. 24, 25,
Oh, well, that
26,
clears it up completely.
27, 28. I thought you'd catch on. Go right in. 29, 30.
George.
What?
That's to you, 31, 32.
Wise guy. 33, 34, 35, 36. Oh, well, 49, 50. Let her sue me.
Why, look who's here, Josh Burns.
Well, here I am. Back from Altoona. Full of jokes and full of pep.
Well, come on in. And just look who's sitting on the sofa.
I know, it's Bill Goodman.
No, it's Joe Spencer.
Oh, no.
Say, what's going on? Gracie told me I'm supposed to be Joe Spencer, but who's he?
Well, Joe Spencer and I used to be rivals for Gracie's hand. I guess you know who lost.
Yeah, Gracie.
Very comical. He screamed that
Good,
fellow
well,
there.
come on, George. Ask me for a date.
Oh, all right. How about a date, baby?
Well, Joe was here first. Weren't you, Joe? Well, weren't you, Joe?
Oh, yeah, that's me, the rival. Gracie, don't go out with that broken-down comedian.
Broken down comedian? Why, I killed him in Altoona. They held me over for a second day. Gracie, go out with me and we'll have a million laughs. Get this one. Do you know how to make a Venetian blind?
Yeah, stick your finger in his eye.
Oh, he's so sorry.
Gracie, go out with me and I'll come over every night and help you wash the dishes. And with Swan, the new white floating soap that's a regular suds and whiz. The soap that suds faster than other floating soaps, even in hard water.
Gracie, go out with me and you'll have a laugh a minute. Get this one. Do you know what fellow in the army wears the biggest hat?
The fellow with the biggest head.
Yeah.
Gracie, go out with me and I'll show you how Swan helps you with every soap and water job in your house. And you'll find that Swan will help keep your hands beautiful, too, because it's as mild as the finest Castile soap, pure as an angel.
Look, Gracie, I know a million gags. Get this for a buck. Did you hear the one about the absent-minded professor who got into his car,
Stepped on his wife and kissed the starter goodbye.
He's a screaming out.
Gracie, listen, go out with me and I'll show you how Swan breaks in two, so you can use half in the kitchen for your dishes and housework, and the other half in the bathroom for your tub or shower. What do you say, Gracie? It is a date?
Look, Gracie, I'm not going to keep this up all night. You're going out with me, or aren't you?
Oh, well, it's hard to decide. Let me see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think I'll go out with Mo.
Mo? Well, that's enough for Joe. Think I better blow.
Well, don't forget to shut the door.
Joe.
Oh, go. Gracie, what was that mo?
Oh, nothing. I just made that up to get rid of Joe.
Oh, I see.
Well, anyway, George, now you and I can go out together.
Yeah, that'll be swell.
Oh, George, this is going to be so much fun. It'll be just like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to a movie.
Yes.
And then we'll go to a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
And then go dancing.
Yeah, just like it used to be.
And then... Oh, I almost forgot. Here's the money.
Oh, just like it used to
Here's the money, yeah.
This is Paul Whiteman. The boys and I have cooked up what we consider a rather tasty arrangement of Serenade in Blue. And it features the fine singing of Jimmy Cash. Jimmy, it's kind of up to you.
When I
hear that serenade in blue. I'm somewhere in another world alone with you, sharing all the joys we used to know many moons ago. Once again your face comes back to me, just like the theme of some forgotten melody in the album of my memory. Serenade in blue. It seems like only yesterday, a small cafe, a crowded floor, and as we dance the night away, I hear you say forevermore, and then the song became a sigh, forevermore became goodbye, but you remained in my heart. Oh, tell me, darling, is there still a spark, or only lonely ashes of the flame we knew? Should I go on whistling in the dark? Serenade in blue.
Oh, George, this is going to be so wonderful. We're actually going to have a date, and we won't let on we're married at all.
All right. We won't tell anybody we're married.
No.
Now go upstairs and get dressed.
Oh, I feel so young. I feel just like I'm 17.
Gracie, you look like you're 17. And I feel like I'm 19. How do I look?
Well, I'm going up to get dressed.
All right. So I look like I'm 20.
Anyone doesn't know to put my heart in beside them. The one I love. Well, if it isn't Herman, my darling little ducky. Oh, darling. Now, don't bother Mama, Herman. She has to powder her nose. Would you like to have Mama put some powder on your nose? Oh, you love it. Hold still. Hold still now. That's a good ducky. Well, most of it stayed on. Now settle down and go to sleep, darling. Mama's going out on a date tonight. What's a date? Well, that's what people go out on when they're courting. It's lots of fun. Well, of course ducks can have dates. Some night you'll have a date with a pretty little girl duck, and you'll sit on her front porch for hours and hours. And then you'll reach over and hold her wing. And she'll put her head on your shoulder and snuggle up real close, and you'll kiss her. And then you'll tell her good night and go home. You'll say good night and go home. Oh, honestly, Herman, there are times when I worry about you.
Gracie, aren't you ready yet?
Coming, dear. Good night, Herman. Well, how do I look?
Swell. But the seam in your stocking is crooked.
George, you mustn't look at my ankles. We're not married, you know.
All right, we're not married. Let's go. Well, where do you want to go?
Oh, well, now that's your problem. Mother always told me that when I had a date with a man, I should let him make all the decisions.
I see.
And she told me that I should do the same thing when I had a date with you.
Oh, fine. All right, let's go bowling.
We go to a movie.
The man makes all the decisions.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you, Gracie.
Oh, it's Mrs. Fowler. Hello, Francis.
Oh, darling, I have the most amazing thing to tell you about Clara Bagley you ever heard in your life. You'll die. You'll absolutely perish.
Really? You know George, don't you, Francis?
Oh, yes, I met your husband. Well, now, you know, I'm the last one in the world to talk about anybody, Gracie.
Oh, but George isn't my husband. We're not married, you know.
But Clara Bagley's brother-in-law was in town last week, and without a doubt, You're not married.
Now, wait a minute, Mrs. Fowler. You see, you don't understand.
Well, I think I'm beginning to.
Oh, well, you see, we're waiting for George to become of age.
Well, for heaven's sake, what age are you waiting for him to become?
You see, we're only pretending.
Pretending? All these years?
Well, we're in no hurry. You know what I always say, rush in without fear and fools will tread on you, Angel.
Yeah, that's what she always said. Look, Mrs. Fowler, this was all Gracie's idea.
That's right. Blame the woman, you cad. Well, goodbye.
Ted, now you've done it. Now that whole club of yours, they'll be going around and saying we're not married.
I never believe anything they say anyway.
Well, okay, come on, let's go to the movies.
All right, dear.
Well, what do you want to do? Want to take a bus or want to walk?
Oh, I'm your date judge. That's your problem. Oh, taxi! Taxi!
Fine. Taxi. What an idea this
Cab, lady?
Oh, yes. The Paramount Theater, please. Get in, dear.
All the silly things.
Well, we're off. Isn't it thrilling, George?
Yes.
Oh, George.
Yes?
Not just so far away. Come on, let's cuddle.
Gracie, let's not be silly.
Oh, well, darling, you don't think young couples drive in taxis just to go places, do you?
No, I suppose not.
Well, you can hold my hand if you like.
Gee, thanks, kid.
Oh, don't squeeze it too hard. Remember, I hardly know you.
All right, here's your hand back.
Oh, I didn't want you to do that. George, would you like to kiss me?
Oh, now, Gracie, please, this is...
Well, I think if you wanted to, I'd let you.
Look, Gracie, this is...
Hey, Mac, you know something?
What, driver?
I've been in this racket 17 years, and this is the first time I ever seen a man put up the battle.
You mind your own business or just keep driving? Darn the silly idea, anyway.
George, I think it's wonderful. I feel so unmarried.
Well, believe me, you acted, too.
Oh, stop the car. Stop the car.
Stop the car. What's the matter? What happened?
Well, look at that beautiful dress in Magnum's window. Georgie.
Oh, no, I can't buy it for you. You're only my date, and we're not married, you know.
Georgie.
What?
How about a 10-minute furlough?
Oh, no.
With 6 hits and a miss, we've made an arrangement of one of the most charming of the currently popular tunes. Be careful, it's my heart.
better be careful because it's my heart.
George and Gracie, still reliving their courtship days, have left the movie theater and are strolling toward an ice cream parlor, just as they did on their first date together.
George, when we go in, will you order the same thing tonight you ordered for us on our first date?
No.
Oh, my, what a thrill I got when you said to the man, 1 vanilla soda with 2 straws, please.
Oh, I couldn't order a thing like that now, Gracie. It would embarrass me to death.
Well, you've got to. Everything must be exactly the same.
Oh, but Gracie, I'm a...
please, George.
Well, all right, come on.
Hello, folks. Sit right down here.
Thanks.
A very funny thing. 2 of those silly high school kids were just sitting there. What do you think they ordered? 1 soda with 2 straws. Did you ever hear of anything sillier? Oh, the whole time they were in here, I was trying to guess whether it was love or the 15 cents. Well, what would you folks like?
Who? Us?
Sure.
Well, tell him what we'd like, George.
Yeah, what do you want?
Bring us a vanilla soda and 2 straws.
Well, anyhow, with you, Bud, I don't have to do any guessing.
Oh, just get the soda, Bud. Never mind the conversation.
Okay, that was vanilla, wasn't it?
Yeah, vanilla.
Oh, you know, we serve a scoop of ice cream in our sodas.
So what?
So would you like 2 spoons, or will you wrestle her for that?
Why, for 2 cents, I'd jump over that counter and certainly
Oh, now,
give you...
George, remember, this is our first date. This is a wonderful idea of mine, isn't it?
Sensational.
No, honest, sweetheart, I wouldn't tell you that if I didn't mean it.
Oh, Mr. Goodwin. Well, George, look who just came in.
Oh, hello, George. Hello, Gracie.
Hello.
Oh, come on, sit down with us, Bill.
Hey, Bud, are these people friends of yours?
Well, what if they are?
Just a minute, I'll get you 2 more straws.
Oh, go.
George, Gracie, I want you to meet my fiancée. What did you say your name was, dear?
Nancy Bye. Fiancé? Why, Joe Spencer, I'm ashamed of you. Joe Spencer? Oh, you must be mistaken. Oh, no, I'm not. I know him. I know his wife, and I know his 6 children. His wife and his 6 children?
Well, now, wait a minute, honey. I can explain.
Never mind explaining. Joe Spencer, Why, this wolf here told me he was Bill Goodwin from the Swan Show.
Well, but I am, honey, honest. Look, Swan is the new white floating soap that's a baby gentle whiz for suds. See?
Oh, everybody knows that.
Well, now, wait, honey. I can tell you something about Swan that everybody doesn't know. Do you know that the Swan people will send you a swell encyclopedia, complete in 1 volume for only 25 cents in a Swan wrapper?
They will?
Yes. And not only that, this encyclopedia has exactly 832 pages, plus 8 pages of maps in color. And do they know that Swan's encyclopedia covers 15,000 subjects? Why, that's more than 1 million words on everything from A to Z, including art, science, history, and geography. Would I know that if I weren't Bill Goodwin?
Oh, I know that, and I'm not Bill Goodwin.
Oh, yeah? But do you know that this encyclopedia contains a special March of Events section, a complete discussion of world events right up to September of this year?
Hey, Bud, how can you get this book?
Well, just send your 25 cents in a Swan wrapper to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin.
Can anybody get one?
Sure. Anybody who sends a quarter in a Swan wrapper to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin.
Can your wife and 6 children get one?
Oh, sure they can. All they have to do... My wife? Now, wait a minute. Look, Nancy, let's leave it to George Burns. He'll tell you I'm Bill Goodwin.
Well, I'd rather not get mixed up in this, Joe. You see,
Joe?
Don't you ever speak to me again.
Oh, now look what you've done.
Oh, so what, Bill? There are plenty of girls.
Not like Nancy, George. She's different. She's the only girl I've met who isn't a riveter.
Nancy.
That'll be 15 cents for the soda, Bud.
How much?
15 cents for the soda.
Well, there you are.
15 cents out of 15 cents.
Come on, Gracie, let's get out of here. Where would you like to go?
Well, that's your problem, dear. You work it out any way you like as long as we go for a walk in the park.
Walk in the park. Park is a mile long.
But it's so romantic.
It's after 11.
But there's a full moon.
I'm too tired. Look, Daddy, you mind the fountain, I'll take
Oh,
it.
shut up. Gracie, we've been walking through this park for hours.
Here come a boy and girl with their arm around each other. Isn't that sweet?
Emily, the time has come when I must speak. I know I'm not worthy of you, Emily. Oh, I know I'm less than the dirt beneath your feet, but I can no longer remain silent. Tell me, Emily. I must know. Will you marry me? Will you, Emily? Will you, Emily?
Oh, wasn't that a beautiful proposal, George? You know, it reminds me of the way you proposed to me.
Did I say it like that?
Well, certainly. Oh, you changed one or two words, but it was the same beautiful thought.
Really?
Uh-huh. You took one of my little hands in yours, and you looked in my eyes, and you said, Gracie, we've been in vaudeville now for 2 years, and it's costing me plenty for separate hotel rooms. Let's get married.
Yeah, I was irresistible in those days. Let's sit down on this park bench. My feet are killing me.
All right. George, you know what?
What?
You haven't kissed me all evening.
Well...
Oh, you know, it was on a park bench just like this that you first kissed me.
Was it?
Don't you remember how it happened?
Well, not exactly.
Well, I'll show you. You had your arm around me. Well, go ahead. Put it around.
Okay.
And then you asked me for a kiss, and I said no. And then you stole a kiss anyway. Oh, go ahead. Steal one. And then...
Oh! Why, you almost broke my jaw.
Oh, remember now?
Oh, yeah, it all comes back to me. Come on, let's go home. I've had enough of this. Gee, I'm tired.
Well, home at last.
Uh-huh.
It's been a most enjoyable evening, Mr. Burns. Or may I call you George?
Call me George, call me Sam, call me anything. Let's go in the house. I'm tired.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Oh, now you can't come in. It's after 12.
But, Gracie, I live here.
Are you forgetting, dear? This is just a date.
Well, where am I going to sleep?
You made the date, George. That's your problem. Good night.
Well, I just hope, folks, that you won't forget to send for your encyclopedia. On the level, it's the biggest quarter's worth I ever saw. And say, if your children have school homework to do, they'll find this encyclopedia a real help. So why not send for one tonight? Just send your quarter and Swan wrapper to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. That's Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. Do it tonight, huh? Remember, Swan now brings you two of radio's top shows, George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou every Friday night on another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Hello? Are you there? Well, we're here.
Swan, the soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing to Swan.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, present the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singers, Jimmy Cash, yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the Six Hits and a Miss, and George Burns and Gracie Allen. Well, unknown to George, Gracie has sent away to the Successful Marriage Institute for their booklet on how to keep husbands happy. She is now on the telephone discussing it with her spinster girlfriend, Tootsie Sagwell. Let's listen in.
Well, yes, Tootsie. It's a course that tells wives how to keep their husbands completely fascinated. What? No. I had it mailed to your house because George mustn't know about it. You see, I want to fascinate him secretly. Huh? Uh-huh. So the minute you get it, bring it right over here and we'll... Here comes George. Goodbye.
Gracie, what were you talking to Tootsie about?
Who? Me?
Yeah, what were you and Tootsie talking about?
Oh, the weather?
Are you asking me or telling me?
No, I'm telling you. We were talking about the weather.
Well, you girls better be careful with those military secrets.
Oh, well, that's silly. How can they keep the weather a secret? You just look out the window and there it is.
Well, we don't want the Japs to know what kind of weather we're having in California.
Oh, well, they wouldn't care anyway. They only like very, very cold weather.
Japs only like very, very cold weather?
Sure. I read in the paper that they even left Alaska because it got too hot for them.
I think you got something there.
No, I'll answer it, dear.
I still don't believe you were talking to Cynthia about the weather.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Postman.
Good morning, Mrs. Burns. I only have a postcard for you today.
Oh, well, that's all right. I know you did your best. How are you feeling, Mr. Postman?
Oh, wonderful, Mrs. Burns. See, I get plenty of exercise. That's what keeps me in this marvelous shape.
I see.
Yes, you take my brother Jim now. He's a mailman back east, and he gets plenty of exercise, too. I'd say Jim's in even better health than I am, if such a thing is possible.
Well, I don't see how it could be.
You know what Jim did just recently? He walked all through Egypt, and then he hiked his way through China.
Oh, what was he doing over there?
Well, Jim's very conscientious. He was trying to deliver some mail to a fellow on his route. A fellow named Wilkie. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Mrs. Burns.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Postman.
Any mail, Gracie?
Oh, just a postcard. Oh, my goodness. It's from my brother Willie, George. Guess what? He's enlisting.
Your brother Willie?
Yes.
Well, if everybody will just buckle down and kind of do their jobs, I think we can win the war anyway. What branch of service is he going into? The Navy?
Oh, no. He couldn't wear those sailor pants. Where they're wide, he's narrow, and where they're narrow, he's wide.
Well, what about the Army? For instance, the artillery?
Oh, no. Too much noise. His ears are very delicate.
What about the cavalry?
Oh, no. Willie's delicate all over.
Well, that's too bad.
Of course, he'd really like to be in a submarine, but he wouldn't be much good there.
Why not?
He can't open his eyes underwater.
Well, that would be bad. Why doesn't he get into the tank corps?
Tanks are too stuffy for him. When he rides, he likes to put the top down.
Well, I've got it. How about being an anti-aircraft gunner?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Well, hooray.
Except for one thing.
I was afraid of that.
He couldn't be an anti-aircraft gunner because he's too stoop-shouldered to look up.
Well, can't he lie down on his back?
Yeah, but when he lies on his back, he's so round-shouldered he rocks himself to sleep.
Well, I give up. You know, Gracie, your brother is the... come in?
Gracie, darling!
Tootsie! Bagwell!
Oh, no. Look, I'm going out for a walk.
Oh, well, how long will you be gone, dear?
How long will you be here, Tootsie?
15 minutes, George.
16 minutes, Gracie.
Oh, isn't that strange, Gracie? Men don't like me, and neither does your husband.
Don't mind George, Tootsie. Did my successful marriage booklet arrive?
Yes, here it is. Oh, gee, I wish I had a husband to fascinate.
Well, at least you've still got your war work.
No, Gracie, I don't do that now either.
You quit selling bonds in Hollywood Boulevard?
Yes. You see, I was sitting there in my booth yesterday with a lovely new uniform on, and the handsomest young man came along.
Yes?
He bought a bond, and then he said, "Gee, Mr. Donlevy, you certainly were swell in Wake Island."
Well, come on, Tootsie. Let's look at this book together. Maybe you'll get a few pointers. Let's hurry before George gets back.
All right.
Chapter 1. Don't let marriage break up your home. The Successful Marriage Institute believes...
Hi, girls. Where's George?
Oh, he just went out, Bill. You wait here. Tootsie and I are going into the library. We have to read something confidential. Come on, Tootsie.
Oh, Mr. Goodwin. Oh, you look just as handsome as ever.
Well, thanks, Tootsie. You haven't changed much either.
Oh, thank you.
Come on, Tootsie.
Bill, what are you doing Saturday night?
Saturday? Oh, well, Tootsie, that's the night I'm going to read my new encyclopedia. You know, the one the Swan people send you for a quarter in a Swan wrapper. It's a great book. Got more than 1 million words on over 15,000 subjects, so I'm going to read up on a little art, science, and history. So let's make it some other time. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Bill. Come on, Tootsie.
Bill, what about Sunday?
Sunday? Oh, well, I'll still be reading my encyclopedia. Has 832 pages, you know. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye. Come on, Tootsie.
How about Monday?
Oh. Well, Monday I look at the maps in my new Swan encyclopedia. It has 8 full pages of maps in color. Great book. Greatest 1-volume encyclopedia I ever saw. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Tuesday?
Oh, well, Tootsie, that's the night I want a special, study the special March of Events section in the encyclopedia. It covers world events right up to this September.
Bill, why don't you get me one of those encyclopedias and bring it over to my house Wednesday night? We can turn the lights down low and read it.
I'm awfully sorry, Tootsie. The only way to get one is to send a quarter and a Swan wrapper to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin.
Yeah, come on, Tootsie.
Yes, you just send your 25 cents and the Swan wrapper to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin, and you'll get your book.
Well, that only leaves Thursday, and I've got a dinner date Thursday with a handsome...
Oh, gosh, Tootsie, that's too bad. You know, that's the one night I'm free.
Really?
Oh, yes, I always stay home and cook my own dinner on Thursdays because it's the maid's night out.
On second thought, I'll break my date.
On second thought, I'll go out with the maid.
Well, Tootsie, we better read this. George will be back any minute.
Well, all right.
It says, the Successful Marriage Institute believes that a wife must be all things to her husband. Not merely one woman, but many women combined.
Doesn't that sound a little difficult, Gracie?
No, not at all. My mother never even heard of this course, but my father always said that she was at least 3 women.
He did?
Uh-huh. Whenever he tried to sneak out at night, she was at the front door and at the back door and under the bedroom window.
Gracie, do you really think George will respond favorably to this treatment?
I hope so, Tootsie. But you never can tell about a husband. You know what I always say? You can make a lead to water, but you can't horse with a drink.
Yes, I've heard you say it. I
always say that.
This is Paul White. Jimmy Cash and the boys and I have fixed up an arrangement of a song that means a lot to the boys going into the service and the gals they left behind. It's I Came Here to Talk for Joe. All right, Jimmy.
I came here to talk for Joe. He wants me to let you know he can't keep that date with you tonight. I came here to talk for Joe. He that kid sure loves you so. And when he gets the chance, he said he'd write. That boy has so much courage. I've seen the things he can do, but he never has the courage to tell you how he feels about you. He's got a perfect alibi. He can't be here and in the sky. So I came here to talk for Joe.
Chapter 2. The clever wife who wishes to keep her husband safe from the clutches of a siren must make herself more alluring than any siren could possibly be.
Oh, dear.
Tootsie, that's the one I'll try on George.
You're going to make yourself a siren?
Uh-huh, like that vampy Sally Brown.
Who's Sally Brown?
Oh, you see her at the meat market whenever you're taking your strange kitchen fast. You know, the government needs to waste kitchen fats for explosives and munitions.
I know, but who's Sally Brown?
Well, she's the man who collects the kitchen fat rice.
Oh, but she knows... Wait, did I hear George coming in?
Yeah, I think so. Now, you stay right in here in the library, Tootsie. I'm going to be a siren and make George the happiest man in the world.
Oh, dear.
Oh, great, big, strong, wonderful you.
Huh?
How's about a big kiss for your ever-loving little baby?
Kiddo?
I fascinate you, don't I?
What's
What's this anyway? What's going on here?
Oh, that's the way I like them. Rough, tough, and raucous. Oh. Kiss me, kiddo.
Kiss me, kiddo? Say, what's come over you anyway?
Kiss me, kiddo.
Gracie, are you all right?
I'll say I am. Just trying.
Oh, stop it. You sound like Shanghai Lil or somebody.
Shanghai Lil. Oh, now there's an alluring name. That's what I need. From now on, I think I'll call myself Beverly Hills Grace.
Beverly Hills Grace?
Kiss me, kiddo.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, you're not fascinating. Come on, let's fast.
Gracie, I don't know whether this is a game or not, but I want to stop right now. I don't like it.
But, Judge, don't you like alluring women?
Of course I like alluring women.
Kiss me, kiddo.
Stop it. I've had enough of this. I'm going out again.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Don't go away. You stay here and I'll be right back. Did it work, Gracie? Oh, no, it didn't, darn it. I don't know whether I over-allured him or I under-allured him.
Maybe a sweater would help.
Oh, no, Judge doesn't look good in a sweater.
Well, Gracie, why don't you try Chapter 3, The Motherly Approach? It says, the successful wife knows when to mother her man, for every husband is a small boy at heart.
Well, I'll try to be his mother. I'll make believe Judge is young. No, it'll be easy to make believe I'm old. Well, here we go again. Oh, come away. It's time for Mama to give you a bath.
A bath? Now, Gracie, this is too much. Let me tell you something.
Back already?
Yeah, motherhood didn't seem to mean a thing to him.
Maybe he was an incubator baby.
Oh, no, Tootsie. He must have had a mother. I don't think his father would have been happy with the things like that.
Chapter 4. There are times when your husband will desire the companionship of another man. It is then that you must be a chum to him, a pal. In short, be another man.
Well, it won't be easy. Gee, wonder what men talk about among themselves.
Oh, they laugh at each other's jokes, talk about baseball.
How do you know what men talk to about each other?
Well, because that's what they do when I'm with them, talk to each other.
Well, all right, I'll try it. Well, hiya, Burns, old man. Got a cigar?
A cigar?
Yep, I always say there's nothing like a good Kimona.
Kimona? What's gotten into you today? What is this?
Say, how's about a cigarette, pal?
Gracie, you know you don't smoke. What's the matter with you? Why do you keep running into the library?
How's about a stick of gum?
Well, okay. Here's a stick of gum.
Thanks, buddy. Well, down the hatch.
Well, I give up. This is the limit.
Care to shoot a little crops?
Shoot a little crops?
Well, sure. It's a game, you know. Wham! Little Joe needs a new pair of snake eyes.
Look, Gracie, are you sure that you feel all right?
Sure, I'm sure. Got another stick of gum, Mac?
Oh, sure. Anything you say, dear. Here you are.
Thanks. Well, bottoms up.
Well, this is murder.
Hey, have you heard any new stories lately?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh, come on. Let's have one, kid.
No, please, Gracie.
Okay. I'll tell one. Did you hear the one about the traveling salesman?
Never mind. Okay, I'll tell one.
Good.
A man went up to a conductor on a streetcar and he said, "Which end of the car do I get off?"
No, that's terrific, Bud. That's marvelous.
Wait a minute.
Oh, boy, what a sense of humor. Nobody can tell a joke the way you tell it, brother.
But I haven't finished.
You got more to tell?
Well, sure. The conductor said to the man, "You can get off at either end. Both ends stop."
Well, that's cute, but I like the first one much better.
4 or 5 months ago, we made a record of a tune we thought was going to be a big hit. And now we know it. It's Kalamazoo with 6 hits and a miss.
George doesn't seem to be one bit happier since I started the successful marriage course.
Try chapter 5. It says here, the successful wife is deeply interested in her husband's business. She discusses it with him constantly.
Oh, I couldn't talk to George about his business, Tootsie. After all, he's a big radio star, and I wouldn't even be on his program if he wasn't giving me a break.
Boy, what a talker that guy must be.
Oh, I think George is very sweet to let me be on his show.
Gracie, do you know how much money George would be making this year if he hadn't met you?
No, how much?
Well, if they wanted to freeze his salary, they'd have to warm it up first.
Well, all right, I'll try chapter 5. I'll act interested in his business. Certainly hope this one works.
Gracie, once and for all, I would like to know why you keep running in and out of the library.
George?
Yes?
How's business?
How's business?
Yes, I understand you're in the radio game.
You understand I'm in the radio game?
Yes, it sounds like such an exciting business. I'll bet you're mighty tired when you come home from a hard day's work, all covered with static and kilocycles.
Yes, I'm worn out.
Tell me, do you get nervous when you start talking into the aerial?
Gracie, stop being silly. You know very well you're on the radio program with me.
Oh, we're not discussing my business, dear. We're talking about yours.
Oh, I see.
Have you a big program?
Yes, I have a very big program.
How many tubes?
Gracie, I don't know what's the matter with you today. You've been acting silly, and I'm worried about you, honestly.
Hello, people.
Hello, Bill. Honestly, Gracie, I think I ought to send for a doctor.
What's the matter? Something up?
Well, we've been having a silly discussion about the work I do.
Bill, does that sound like a silly discussion?
Well, no, but it sounds like a short one.
Oh, it's very funny, Bill. Here I am worried to death about Gracie because she's asking me a lot of silly questions about my work, and you have...
You're worried because she asked questions about your work. Why, George, it must be wonderful to have a woman interested in your work.
Well, I'm interested in your work, Bill. What business are you in?
Gracie, are you kidding? I'm with Swan.
Swan? That's a soap, isn't it?
See what I mean, Bill?
Well, Gracie, you know it's a soap. And what a soap. Pure, mild, gentle.
Oh, well, tell me all about it.
Well, you know, it's the new white floating soap that gives you suds faster than you can say, well, anything. And you get those fast suds even in hard water.
Well, tell me more.
I better send for a doctor.
But, Gracie, you know, Swan's great for washing dishes or helping you get your housework done. Those long-lasting suds go after dirt like crazy. And when you use Swan, Gracie, you don't have to worry about your hands. Swan is so kind to your skin.
Well, tell me more.
Poor Gracie. Well, there goes my radio program.
Well, gee, Gracie, you know, Swan's the soap you can break in two with a flick of your wrist, so you get 2 cakes of soap. One for the kitchen to do dishes and cleaning, and the other for your bath, for your tub or shower.
More.
At my age, I got to break in a new girl.
Swan comes in a cool green wrapper.
More.
With a white swan on the front.
More.
It's a great soap.
More. Yeah. I want to know every tiny little bit of a thing about it.
Well, Gracie, you wait right here. I'll tell you more when I come back.
You going?
Yes.
Where?
Nuts.
Gracie, tell me, what's the reason for all this?
I'll be right back.
Don't tell me, Gracie. I can see it for your face. That one didn't work either, huh?
Oh, that one didn't work the most. It didn't work on 2 people.
Oh. Well, how about this one? Chapter 7. It is often effective for the wife to act the part of a helpless little child, protected by her strong, fierce, handsome brute of a husband.
Oh, you know, Tootsie, I wonder if this course applies to George.
I know what you mean. Listen, there's more. Men are like lions. They have a fierce desire to protect the helpless. Think of yourself as a little child, and your husband is the king of the jungle.
Well, Tootsie, I think this one will get him. I'm a helpless child, and he's a lion.
Uh-huh. Now, I'll stay right here by the door where I can hear what's going on.
All right. Georgie.
Yes?
Oh, Gracie's fighting when she's away from her big, strong mate.
I'm your big, strong mate?
Yeah. You are my lion husband.
Now, wait a minute. Maybe I fibbed once or twice.
George, I'm so helpless without you, so weak and helpless. Would you bring me a glass of water?
Oh, yes, of course. Here's some right here.
Will you hold it to my lips? I'm so weak and helpless. And you're so strong.
Yes, a glass of water is hard to lift. I'm a brute.
Georgie, growl at me.
Growl at you?
Like a lion.
Oh, no.
Oh, you magnificent beast.
I'm a magnificent beast?
Georgie.
What?
Would you defend me with your claws and fangs?
Oh, definitely.
Would you drag home a deer for me and our little cub?
Right away, I'll run out and get one.
Georgie.
Yes?
Ruffle up your mane and wag your tail.
Well, all right.
This I gotta see!
Gracie, what's she doing here?
Well, come on, Tootsie. Okay. I'll see you to the door.
Come on, Georgie.
I'll be right back, dear.
What's been going on in this library anyway? Well, everything looks the same. Well, wait a minute. What's this? the Successful Marriage Institute. Take an interest in your husband's work. Act like a helpless child.
Why, that sweet kid. And I thought Gracie was nuts, and here she was trying to be the perfect wife.
Oh, George, you're not supposed
Oh, that's all right, dear. I'm sorry for the way I acted. And, sweetheart, you know that compact you wanted? And I wouldn't let you spend the $10. Well, go out and get it.
Oh, no, George. I couldn't possibly spend $10. We've got to economize now.
Economize what?
Well, because I just paid $500 for this course.
Some economy, huh?
George and Gracie will be right back. Meanwhile, I'd like to ask you if you've sent for your Swan Encyclopedia yet. Believe me, it's really swell. Your children especially will find it a great help in doing their school homework. And you'll find it a handy reference for thousands of things. It's a terrific bargain, too. All you do to get one is send your quarter and Swan wrapper to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. That's Swan, Box 25, Racine, R-A-C-I-N-E, Racine, Wisconsin. They'll send your encyclopedia along immediately. Act now, because this offer may have to be withdrawn at any time. Now, here are George and Gracie.
George, aren't you glad I took the Successful Marriage course?
Well, you really didn't need it, sweetheart. You don't have to be a siren with me. I love you just the way you are.
Oh, really?
Certainly.
Kiss me, kiddo.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. These programs are shortwave to our armed forces everywhere. Remember, Swan now brings you two of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou every Friday night over another network. And now till next week, at the same time, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pie, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
KNX, Columbia Square, Los Angeles. The following announcement is transcribed.
Hello? Are you there? Well, we're here.
Swan's a soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing to Swan.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, present the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singers, Jimmy Cash, yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the Six Hits and a Miss, and George Burns and Gracie Allen. Well, today is the season's first meeting of Gracie Allen's club, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society. Last year, George said the girls couldn't meet at his home again. He put his foot down. As we look in now, George is about to put his other foot down.
Gracie, will you come out of there a minute? Look, Gracie, I'm starved. I haven't had any breakfast. Is the meeting about over?
Oh, we haven't even started. Blanche Morton, Clara Bagley, and Tootsie Sagwell haven't arrived yet.
Well, then, what have you girls been talking about?
Blanche Morton, Clara Bagley, and Tootsie Sagwell.
Look, I've got to get some food. I'm going into that other room and break that meeting up.
Change your mind, dear?
Yes, no man can face that on an empty stomach. What are they laughing at?
Well, they can't wait for Blanche Morton to come in with one of those idiotic hats of hers.
Fine way to talk about a club member.
But, George, you should see Blanche's new hat. It's the silliest thing. It has a big bunch of grapes on one side, and 3 sunflowers on the other side, and a stuffed seagull sticking up in the front, and ribbons hanging down the back.
Well, that sounds pretty silly.
Sure, nobody's wearing ribbons.
Well, get these gals out of here. I'll see you later. I'm going out to eat.
Oh, wait, George.
Yes?
On your way back, will you buy a present for my brother Willie? He's going in the army, you know.
All right. What do you want me to get him?
Well, he said they might send him to Iceland, so you better get him a night shirt. Oh, no, in fact, buy him 3 night shirts. I'll sew them together.
You're going to sew 3 night shirts together?
Mm-hmm. The nights are much longer up in Iceland.
Yes, and I'll get him 2,000 sleeping pills, too.
Come in.
Hello, Gracie, dear.
Why, Blanche Morton, how are you, Blanche?
Oh, wonderful. There's no use asking how you are, Gracie. You look simply radiant. Oh, it's so nice seeing you again.
Hello, Mrs. Martin.
How do? Are the girls here yet, Gracie?
Well, yes, most of them, Blanche. They're in the library. Go right in.
All right. I was telling her about it. Why, Blanche, what a perfectly adorable hat.
Sweet bunch of girls. If you serve them milk, be sure to put it in the saucer. Paul? Gracie, I've got to go.
Oh, wait, George.
Yeah?
Don't get Willie a nice dress for Iceland. That's silly.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, get him a yo-yo. they might send him to Egypt.
A yo-yo?
Uh-huh. He's always wanted one, but he's too lazy to make it go up and down.
Well?
Well, in Egypt they ride on camels, so Willie just sits and holds the yo-yo, and
the camel goes up and down. It's silly of me not to figure that out. I certainly am.
Come in. Why, Clara Bagley.
Oh, Gracie, I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's all right. We can't start the meeting until Tootsie Sagwell gets here.
Oh, I've got the most miserable headache. That's why I brought this ice bag with me.
Oh, well, here, Clara, take off your hat and put the ice bag on your head. There. Oh. Now, you'll feel better in a few minutes. Now, go into the library. The girls are right there now.
Why, Clara, what a perfectly adorable hat!
With these dames, Harper Bazaar must fold up. Gracie, if you can break up this hen party, I'm going out and
Hi, George. Hello, Gracie.
Oh, good morning, Bill.
Hello, Bill.
Well, what's wrong with you, George? You look about as happy as General von Bach with a calendar in one hand and a thermometer in the other.
I'll tell you what's wrong. On account of Gracie, I'm starving.
Oh, brother, are you confused?
You certainly are a scream.
Well, I guess the girls are getting impatient in there. I'll go in and tell them we'll start as soon as Tootsie gets there.
Come on, Bill. I'll buy you a cup of coffee. The house is overrun with a bunch of gabby women.
Well, you know, I sympathize with you, George. If there's one thing that gets on your nerves, it's a gabby dame.
Yeah, it's murder. Come on, let's go.
You know, one of them collared me on a street corner just now and almost talked me to death, George. All I said was good morning. And, brother, that did it. She comes right back with, what's new? Well, I had to answer, so I told her that Swan is new. The new white floating soap that's great for washing dishes because it gives you suds faster than other floating soaps, even in hard water.
The gabby woman.
Oh, brother. Well, I tell you, I tried to tear myself away from her, George, but quick as a flash, she shoots another question at me. Is that so, she said.
Oh, yes, very talkative, very talkative. Come on, I'm starved. I've got to eat.
Well, George, I couldn't walk away without saying yes, so I said it. Yes, I said. Swan is the mild, pure soap that not only gives you suds for dishes, but suds for every soap and water job in the house. Baby, gentle suds that are so easy on your hands.
Yeah, by now she talked your ear off.
Oh, both of them.
Yeah, 2 ears, yes.
Well, I thought sure I'd cut the conversation short, see, but oh, no. Just as I'm tearing myself away, what do you think she said? Goodbye.
Oh, what a tongue lashing.
Goodbye, I says. Well, Swan is more than a goodbye. It's terrific. Why, you can break each bar of Swan in two and get 2 swell cakes of soap. One to use in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning, and the other to use in the bathroom for your hands and face or for your tub or shower.
Bill, please, breakfast. I'll order Swan soap on toast.
Oh, well, okay, that's all anyway. I finally tore myself away.
Well, fine. Come on, I'm stuck. Say, Bill, what's that you're holding in your hand?
Well, what do you know? It's the lapel off that woman's coat.
That was nice tearing. Bill, come on.
Oh, George, I'm glad you're still here. Never mind that yo-yo for Willie.
Sure, too silly.
Yes. Get him a picture frame. He might go to Alaska.
A picture frame?
Yes, I'll put a picture of my sister Bessie in it, and he can hang it in the barracks.
Sister Bessie? Maybe the rest of the boys would rather have a picture of Lana Turner.
Oh, don't worry. After the boys have been in Alaska a few months, Bessie will look just as good to them.
Well, okay. Go back to the meeting.
Oh, Gracie, you just missed the cutest thing. Blanche Morton said in her opinion, George Bird was absolutely...
Well, let's go, George.
Wait a minute. I want to hear the rest of that.
Well, George, looks like we'll never know, doesn't it?
Come on.
This is Paul Whiten. Jimmy Cash has picked a mighty popular tune for his song tonight. It's White Christmas. Okay, Jimmy.
The sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees wave. There's never been such a day in Beverly Hills, L.A.
All these petty discussions and get right down to business. Who are you talking about?
Maggie Ettinger. She says that she's only 35.
Well, personally, I think she's very honest and straightforward. I've known her for years, and she's always said she's 35. Now, settle down, girls. Now read the minutes. The last weekly meeting of the Beverly Hills Uplift Society was supposed to be held at the home of Mrs. Gruskin, but Mr. Gruskin locked all the doors and threatened us with a garden hose. It was then decided that the meeting should be held at the home of Mrs. Taylor, whose husband was confined to his bed with a nervous breakdown. Before the meeting, we all showed our appreciation by gathering around Mr. Taylor and singing, for he's a jolly good fellow. By the way, Mrs. Taylor, how is your husband?
Oh, he's at the Good Samaritan now.
Well, that's nice. Such a lovely hospital. Well, back to the minute. The president of the club, Mrs. George Burns, then made our annual Friendship Award. This year, the congenial spirit of our organization was best represented by those two lifelong friends, Mrs. Morton and Mrs. Bagley. The award was made in the form of two china lovebirds, one of which was slightly cracked. In the struggle to see who would get the one without the crack, both lovebirds were broken. Mrs. Morton lost a tooth, and Mrs. Bagley sustained bruises and lacerations.
If Clara Bagley wasn't such a
Never in the history of our club has this honor been so richly deserved. At the conclusion of the meeting, our hostess, Mrs. Taylor, served spaghetti, which she said was made from an old family recipe. It was delicious.
Oh, well, thank you, Gracie.
Miss Stagwell later on went into Mrs. Taylor's kitchen, and she reported that she found several empty cans and that the name of the old family which made the recipe was Heinz.
All the low, snoopy tricks.
And that concludes the minutes, girls. Now, is there any new business?
May I have the floor, Madam President?
The chair recognizes Miss Stagwell. What is it, Tootsie?
Well, as you know, we're having a lot of trouble getting new members for our club because so many women are busy with war work. But I have an idea.
You have?
Mm-hmm. Let's take some men in our club.
Gracie, can I see you a minute?
All right, dear. Excuse me, girls.
Gracie, isn't that silly meeting over? If you girls were doing something important like war work, I wouldn't mind.
Well, we do war work, George. We knit all the time. Well, we've had sweaters and things sent back to us from every camp in the country.
No, but those silly discussions you have in there. Why don't you discuss something important like the shortage of meat or the...
Oh, all right, dear. Now, don't get excited. We can talk it over quietly. Sit down. Sit Now, dear, calm yourself.
Okay. I'll sit down. Oh, darn that silly duck. He's always underfoot.
He wasn't that time.
Well, okay, I'm sorry I sat on him.
Oh, now hush, Herman, Daddy and I are discussing the meat situation. What's that? Well, you see, Herman, there's a shortage of meat in this country. That's because we ship a lot of it abroad to our brave allies and our boys fighting all over the world. See? So, people on the home front like your mommy and your daddy must eat less meat. After all, we don't want our fighting men to go hungry, do we? Now, what would you do to anybody who tried to take the meat away from our soldiers? That's right, Herman. So our government suggests that we limit ourselves to 2.5 pounds of meat a week for each person. In that way, we all have our share. And then, too, when we have a meat rationing... Rationing? Well, you see, rationing means that everybody, rich and poor alike, shares what there is equally. That's the American way. Oh, you bet. And the time to start cutting down on the meat we eat is right now, before rationing. After all, there are still large supplies of other things to eat instead, such as eggs, fish, poultry. What's poultry? Well, chicken, or turkey, or a duck. I don't mean you, dear, but poultry is delicious. Oh, now, baby darling, Mama wouldn't eat you in a million years.
Yes, but Papa might. Go on.
Now, go on, Herman. Off to your room. Isn't he cute? Look at him waddle off.
Yeah. He's got the cutest drumsticks.
Well, I've got to go back to the meeting, George. And I'll tell the girls what you said.
And you can talk about pooling, too. About pooling their cars and other things. In times like these, we should share and share alike.
All right, dear, I will. Well, I know. And now, girls, I have something very important to say. I've just been having a little talk with George, and he says from now on we girls should pool things. Pool our cars, pool our food.
Well, as long as we don't have to pool George.
Oh, I wouldn't think of it, Clara. Now, we're going to start right away, girls. We'll pool everything we can.
Well, that's a very good idea.
Where will we start? Oh, I know. We'll pool George's cigars. You girls divide them up and take them home to your husband.
Oh,
but remember, girls, this is share and share alike. So after your husbands have smoked half of each cigar, bring what's left back to George.
Many years ago, we recorded a miniature classic called Manhattan Serenade. Now it's all dressed up, and it's the #1 hit, which just goes to show you can't keep a good tune down.
That night in Manhattan was the start of it. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. We lived it and we loved every part of it. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. The glow of moonlight in the park. The light that spells your name. The the melody of the music, the madness that made our Manhattan Serenade. Manhattan Serenade.
I'm so proud of you. Because of what you said, our club has already buckled down and started pooling things.
Well, I just saw my duty.
Oh, just think. Your speech made us better Americans.
Oh, it was nothing a fireside chat couldn't have done.
Oh, you know, dear, I think you're just as good a speaker as the president.
Now, Gracie, let's not be silly. Me as good as the president. That's ridiculous. My friends, he's better than I am.
Well, anyway, I'm proud of you. If I had my choice of all the husbands in the world, I'd still take you.
Well, thanks.
Let people say I'm crazy.
Oh, sure. What do we care?
I mean every word of it. I think you're a great man, George. And you know what I always say? Great men in the stand remind us footprints make our lives sublime. And if in time we are departing, we can leave ourselves behind.
Yes.
That's what I always say.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, too. Well, I think I'll make myself comfortable and finish that story in the Saturday Evening Post. Where are my slippers?
Harry Morton has them.
Harry Morton?
Well, I told you we already buckled down and started pooling things here. You're in a slipper pool.
A slipper pool?
Well, it's really more of a clothing pool. Harry Morton took your slippers, your bathrobe, and your lounging pajamas.
Now, Gracie, that's the
wait,
silly...
George. He said that you can go over and help yourself to any of his suits.
Really?
Yes, here. He left you these torn tickets.
Oh, fine. Gracie, you see...
I'm so proud of you. This was all your idea. You're a great man, George.
Oh, all right, I'll do it the hard way. Without slippers, I'll read the Saturday Evening Post.
You're in a magazine pool, too.
Oh.
Mrs. Gruskin took your magazine and left you one of hers.
What magazine did she leave?
Oh, you'll love it. The Welders Weekly.
Now, wait a minute.
You're a great man,
Oh,
George.
sure. A barefooted great man with nothing to read. Well, I'm going upstairs to shave.
George, was General Grant a great man?
Well, of course he was.
You're just like him.
I'm like General Grant?
Mm-hmm. I've seen his picture, and I don't think he had a razor either.
Gracie, don't tell me.
A
shaving pool.
Yeah. And Mr. Bagley took your razor and your brush and your shaving cream.
Well, that leaves me in fine shape.
But it's Cheryl and Cheryl like George. In exchange, you get a dirty hat.
Derby hat? What's that got to do with shaving?
You put your old lace in it.
Gracie, when I...
You're a great man, George.
Yes, I'm great. I wonder where the aspirin are.
Go, Gracie, hide me.
What's the trouble, Bill?
Well, Tootsie Sagwell's outside, and I don't want her to see me.
Darling!
Oh, Tootsie Sagwell.
I thought it was you I was running after.
I'd recognize you on a desert island. I wish.
Well, so long, Tootsie. I have to run.
Oh, wait, Bill. You know what you asked me to do last week? Well, I did it.
Oh, Tootsie, you didn't.
Yes, I sent for one of those Swan encyclopedias.
Oh, well, that's a great book, Tootsie. And I know you love it.
Oh, wait, Bill. I did something for you now. How about doing something for me? Like walking home with me.
Well, Tootsie, how do I know you really got the Swan encyclopedia? Does the one you sent for have 832 pages? Does it have over 1 million words on more than 15,000 subjects from art to zoology? Are you sure that you have the Swan encyclopedia?
Well, of course, Bill.
Well, does it have a special March of Events section covering world news and events right up to this past September, huh?
I know I've got the Swan encyclopedia, Bill. Come over to my house and see it for yourself. I keep it right in the middle of the sofa.
Well, some other time, Tootsie.
But Bill, I thought you might come over and explain the war maps to me.
Oh, now, Tootsie, the maps in the Swan encyclopedia don't need explaining. Those 8 pages of war maps in color make it easy for anyone to follow the world situation at a glance. In fact, whenever I listen to the news, I keep my Swan encyclopedia maps right in front of me, and I mark important developments right on them.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Why don't you bring your war maps over to my house and we'll compare them? I think it'd be nice to get our maps together.
Now, Tootsie, listen to reason. My goodness, you know that anybody can get a Swan encyclopedia by sending 25 cents in a Swan wrapper to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, thousands of women are sending their quarters in Swan wrappers to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin, and those women don't expect me to come to their houses.
But Bill, I'm different from other women.
Yes. And that's just the trouble, Tootsie. Goodbye.
Well, Tootsie, it seems as if you and Bill just never get together.
Oh, well, maybe I'm just as smart to keep him guessing. Goodbye.
What a day. Gracie, where are the aspirin? I've got a terrible headache.
Oh, that's too bad. Why don't you take some cod liver oil or some citronella?
Well, what's wrong with aspirin?
Well, you're in a medicine pool.
A medicine pool?
You're a great man, George.
I know. I ought to be in Grant's tomb.
Come in. Oh, it's little Billy Marks from next door. How are you, Billy?
Okay. Well, come on, turn on the radio.
Turn on the radio?
You heard me. I'm in your radio pool.
Now, just a minute,
Oh,
kid.
now, George, I told him to come over.
Well, okay. What do you want to hear, Sonny? A little music?
Music? Well, get him. Turn on Frank Phillips, the commando.
Why, for 2 cents I
George.
Well, okay.
And so, bound and gagged, weak from a dozen knife wounds, suffering from the 4 bullet holes in his chest and choking from the deadly monoxide gas, Frank Phillips gives a sigh of irritation. His boat has sprung a leak. Tune in again tomorrow night for another great installment of Frank Phillips, the Commando.
Now I missed the whole program.
Well, I'm tickled to death. Now beat it.
No,
You said it. Believe me, lady, if he was my father instead of yours, I'd...
Go on, out.
You're a great man,
Oh,
George.
stop that. I told you the pool thing, but I didn't mean only pool my thing. Either you do it the right way or you don't do it at all. Do you understand?
Yes, dear.
And remember that.
Yes, dear.
Suggesting an idea to you. I must be nuts.
Yes, dear.
Well, I'm going upstairs. Only everything I own. Might have known this would happen. Oh, boy, am I worn out. I'll jump into bed. Oh, does this bed feel good?
Certainly does.
Why, Harry Morton!
Yeah, I'm in your bed pool.
Say, folks, hurry and send in for your Swan encyclopedia now, because honestly, we're afraid we might have to withdraw our offer pretty soon. It's a great buy, the kind of book everyone can use, especially children who have homework to do. So send your quarter and Swan wrapper in tonight. Send them to Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. That's Swan, Box 25, Racine, Wisconsin. We'll send your big 832-page encyclopedia to you immediately. Remember, Swan now brings you two of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou every Friday night over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin for George and Gracie saying, well, hi, Swan. How about you? Good night.
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout what a delight. For cake, pies, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
We're here.
Swan's a soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing to Swan.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, present the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. Yours truly, Bill Goodwin. The Six Hits and a Miss. And George Burns and Gracie Allen. And now we take you to the Burns home, where George and Gracie are just finishing breakfast.
More cream, dear? Another slice of toast?
No, thanks.
Well, did you notice the toast wasn't burnt this morning? I finally had a man come up and look at the toaster.
Good. It's about time.
I made him take it apart and check the whole thing. He charged me $5, but it was worth it.
Found out what the trouble was, huh?
Mm-hmm. I was leaving the toast in it too long.
Oh, fine. For another $5, you could probably tell you why the waffle line doesn't make coffee.
Oh, George. Everybody knows that. There's a shortage of coffee.
Let's just drop the whole thing.
Oh, look there. Look out of the window.
Where? What?
There's Mr. Morton leaving for his office.
Oh, thrill divine.
Mrs. Morton is walking out to the gate with him. Now she's kissing him goodbye. George, have they been married to each other the same length of time?
Of course they have. Why?
Well, she kisses like they were just married, and he kisses like they've been married 8 years.
Gracie, you shouldn't watch your neighbors. It's not nice, you know.
Oh, you're right, dear. Oh, look, across the street. There's Fred Pomtag leaving for his office. And Mrs. Pomtag is kissing him goodbye. It must be heavenly.
Stop being silly.
George, I wish you didn't work at home. If you had an office, I could kiss you every morning.
Well, I do kiss you every morning.
I know, but you never give me the pleasure of kissing you goodbye.
Look, I don't need an office.
Well, we're just missing the best part of married life, that's all.
Darling, I have no use for an office, and believe me, we're not missing the best part of married life.
But in the movies, whenever Melvin Douglas is married, he always leaves for the office in the morning and kisses Irene Dunn goodbye.
Gracie, do I have to remind you that I'm not Melvin Douglas?
No, George, you don't have to remind me.
We've been married for years, and this is the first time you ever mentioned an office.
But I've thought about it. Yesterday, I thought of make believe that you were leaving for the office. I actually stood in front of the house and waved for 5 minutes.
Just waved to no one?
Well, not as it turned out, but they all finally left and went over to the USO.
Smart piece of waving. Good.
All the husbands of the girls in the club have offices downtown.
For the last time, sweetheart, I don't need an office downtown just to do our radio program. That little rumpus room we fixed up for me is fine.
Well, no, it isn't at all. At night, Blanche Morton can ask her husband if he had a hard day at the office. But how does it sound when I say, did you have a hard day in the rumpus room, dear?
Gracie, let's drop the discussion now.
But, George...
Now.
Oh, it's my darling little duck. I'm awfully glad you're here, Herman. Mama wants to ask you a question. Now, you're not very proud of your daddy, George, are you? But suppose your daddy had a great big swanky office. Then you'd be proud of him, wouldn't you?
I wonder if they'll ever draft ducks.
But, Herman, if your daddy has an office, he'll be a big, important man like those men who control the railroad. And then he'll take you on the choo-choo. That's the best imitation I ever heard. Mama's so proud of her clever little boy.
Oh, that's fine. A ham with drumsticks. Gracie, maybe you've got something with that office. At least I get away from that silly duck.
Oh, that's wonderful. You hear, Herman? Your daddy's getting an office. He's going to be a big businessman like Henry Kaiser. Do you know what Henry Kaiser built?
Herman, I'd just like to remind you one thing. The government needs fat. They need it for bullets and bombs, and they want us to take it to our meat dealers right now. Herman, what are you doing this evening? Go on.
George.
Beat it.
George, I'm going to run up and get my hat.
What did you say, Dad?
I'm going to get my hat and we'll go right out and pick out an office.
Okay, Dad.
Hi, George. Hello, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Bill. I'll be right back, George.
What's going on, George?
Oh, nothing. I'm going to work in an office.
Work in an office? George.
What?
If I catch you sitting on the boss's lap, I want my ring back.
Stop being funny. I'm going to rent an office for myself.
Oh, well, you're lucky I came over. I know a girl who's a great secretary. Her name is Gwendolyn.
Well, I don't want a secretary.
Oh, but she's great, George. Her shorthand is sensational. Listen, the other day I dictated a letter this fast. Now, get this. Dear Madam, in case you haven't heard about it, Swan is the new pure white floating soap that's great for washing the dishes. Because Swan gives you suds faster than any other floating soap, and that's true even in hard water.
Yeah, but I don't want a secretary.
And George, Gwendolyn read that letter right back to me. She read it back to me in shorthand. She said, Dear Madam, Swan est new white float soap that is great for water.
Forget it. Look, I don't need a secretary. I'm just
George,
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn is the Toscanini of the keyboard.
Oh, really?
Yes, she types 160 words a minute. You ought to see those beautiful white hands flying over the keys. And why do you think she has beautiful white hands, George? Why, Bill, I'll tell you, George. Well, sir, she uses Baby Gentle Swan for every soap and water job in the house. And no matter what you use Swan for, whether it's washing the dishes or some hankies, hose, and undies or anything, Swan is kind to your hands. That's why, George, and I'm glad you asked me.
Bill, I don't care if Gwendolyn uses Swan to play her mandolin.
But, George...
You see, I'm not using
George, who will write your letters, answer your phone, and remind you of things you mustn't forget? Like the fact that Swan saves you money. Because with Swan in the house, you don't have to buy easily wasted packet soap.
Okay. Stop talking. I'll hire her.
Hire her? You can't hire Gwendolyn. She's got a job. And she's crazy about her work.
Why did you do all that talking?
Well, George, I don't exactly hate my work either. Goodbye.
At breakfast, I'll bet he wears a green wrapper with a white swan on the front.
Oh, George, while I was putting on my hat, I was thinking how wonderful your office is going to be.
You were?
Mm-hmm. Monday morning, you'll kiss me goodbye, and Monday night, you'll kiss me hello.
Oh.
And Tuesday morning, you'll kiss me goodbye, and Tuesday night, you'll kiss me hello. And Wednesday morning, you'll kiss me goodbye, and Thursday morning, you'll kiss me goodbye, and Thursday night, you'll kiss me hello.
Wait a minute. I didn't come home from the office Wednesday night.
You didn't? Well, don't let it happen again.
What?
The idea of leaving your poor little wife home slaving
Oh,
over a hot stove while you're having a daytime in your office.
This is Paul Whiteman. Tonight, Jimmy Cash sings of a time we all hope will come soon, when the lights go on again. All right, Jimmy.
When the lights go on again, all over the world, and the boys are home again, ships will sail again all over the world. Then we'll have time for things like wedding rings, and free hearts will sing. When the lights go on again, all over the
Gracie, this office building looks too expensive. I'm going across the street and try the other one. All I need is just a little cubbyhole.
Well, I'll talk to the manager and see what he's got here.
Yeah, but don't look at anything too expensive.
Well, you don't have to worry, dear. You know what I always say? A pound of pennies is wise foolish.
Well, I know you always say that, but all I want is just a little cubbyhole. I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. Oh, let's see now. Oh, here's the manager's office. Are you the manager?
Yes, indeed, little lady.
Well, my husband would like to rent one of your offices.
Oh.
Just a small cubbyhole.
Oh.
Well, not too small, of course. Sort of a medium-sized cubbyhole.
Oh.
You know, like an office, like a large office.
Oh.
He'd like a big suite with 3 big rooms.
Oh, well, I have the very thing you're looking for. Now, if you'll just sign this lease.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I'm much too careful to rush into anything that quickly.
Oh, I see.
Has this suite got windows?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, good. Where do I sign?
Right on that dotted line, little lady. Here's a pen.
Thank you. Gracie Allen Burns. There you... Oh, my goodness. This lease is for 99 years.
Is something wrong?
Well, you see, my husband is a very healthy man, and he'd be upset if the lease expired before he did.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't worry about it, little lady. Now then, what kind of office furniture will your husband require?
Well, I don't know. What do you usually put in your office in?
Oh, it all depends on what the office is used for, madam. Could be desks and steel files, a cabinet for law books, a dentist's chair, an operating table, a stock ticker.
Well, that sounds satisfactory.
Which?
All of them.
All of them?
Of course.
Little lady, do you happen to be married to Orson Welles?
Oh, no. His name is George Burns, and that's the name I want on the door. George Burns Limited.
With that office equipment, I hardly think he will be.
I'll say. What?
I said with that
never mind. I think I'd like to see the suite now.
Oh, yes, of course. It adjoins my own office. Just right out this door, if you please.
Oh, here's my husband. Now we can see it together.
Gracie, I saw the cutest place across the street for only $25 a month, just exactly
what
I wanted.
Wait. I want you to see the little place I picked out.
You picked out?
Uh-huh. All right, Mr. Manager, open it up.
Gladly.
There. Isn't it snug? Isn't it cozy?
Snug? Cozy?
Yes. And just think, it's yours for 99 years.
Oh. What an office. 6 filing cabinets, 5 desks, 12 chairs. What a job moving this furniture in here.
George, you'll have to move it all out again.
Move it out? Why?
It spoils the echo.
Look. Gracie, will you sit down? All I wanted was one little room. And I've got an office you could hide a flying fortress in.
Oh, but now I can kiss you every night when you come home. If you had a little office, I'd just give you one little kiss. But you've got a big office with 3 big rooms, so I'll give you 3 great big kisses.
No. Glad you didn't rent the whole floor. I'm not as young as I used to be. That's funny. Who knows we're here?
Well, it's probably the girls from the employment agency. I told them you'd want a secretary.
Now, wait a minute. All I wanted was just a little cubbyhole.
Well, all big men have secretaries, George. You can take one of these girls temporarily, and then later on you can hire somebody more experienced, like Secretary Morgenthau or Secretary Hull.
Look, Gracie.
Come in. We're from the Acme agency. Are you the party who's looking for a secretary?
Oh, yes, I'll interview you both. Your name is?
Lucille Helt. I'm very good. I'd still be working if my last boss hadn't been drafted. Before he was drafted, he was in women's dresses.
Well, I suppose it takes all kinds to make an army. Lucille, what would your salary be?
Well, 20 a week.
20 a week? Oh, that's not enough. You should get at least 35.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Well, in fact, for a girl who's really a good secretary, I don't think $50 is too much, do you?
Oh, no, $50 would be fine.
Well, I'm sure you're capable, Lucille, but that's a little more than my husband can afford. Next girl.
Gracie, she said she'd work for...
What's your name, miss?
Geraldine Bojo. And I'm very good at taking shorthand.
Well, I'll try you out. I'll dictate a short business letter to you. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
George Burns Limited. Dear Limited, we received your contents, and the 15th inch was duly noted. Thanking you in the past for advanced favors, we are. Now, read it back.
George Burns Limited. Dear Limited, we received your contents, and the 15th inch was duly noted. Thanking you in the past for advanced favors, we are.
Oh, I'm sorry, Geraldine, but that letter doesn't make a bit of sense. Next girl. Next girl. Yeah. Oh, dear. She was the last one.
Well, good. Forget the secretary.
Oh, no, George. I'm going to keep trying until I find you a girl who's intelligent and capable and clever and... Well, I know just the girl.
Well, all right. Send her around next week.
Oh, why wait? I can start right now. Go ahead and dictate.
You?
Yeah, me.
Oh.
6 hits and a miss, and the boys in the band, and one of Jerome Kern's and Johnny Mercer's very, very best, Dearly Beloved.
This office is ridiculous, Gracie.
Miss Allen, please.
Huh?
Well, I'm just your secretary now, so you better call me Miss Allen. Or Toots.
Toots.
Yeah, and I'll call you GB.
GB?
That's office talk for George Burns. You know, your initials, GB.
I don't want you to call me GB.
But that's the way it's done, dear. My sister Bessie used to be secretary for a man named Philip Simmons, and she always called him FC.
I don't care what your sister Bessie did. All I wanted was a little
It's
cubby
fun
hole.
being a secretary. I hope I don't make a great big fool of myself and fall in love with the boss.
Oh, stop. I'll be the laughing stock of all my friends.
Oh, don't you worry, dear. They laughed at all great men. They even laughed at Lincoln, but he went right ahead and invented the highway.
All right.
Don't get excited,
Oh.
GB.
And quick with that GB. GB. What is this? Probably the janitor. Come in.
Oh, wait, George. The secretary does the work. Come in.
Thanks.
Holy smokes, what a place.
Do you like our little office, Bill?
Well, yeah, I've always wondered how the Rose Bowl would look with a roof.
You haven't seen anything, Bill. Look at this.
Where's the barbecue pit?
I've got 3 rooms like this, and it's silly. I've got no business. No one wants to see me.
Oh, excuse me, boys. I'm going out into the hall.
Gracie.
Yeah, I've got an idea.
George, why don't you get a smaller office?
Why? Because the landlord had Gracie sign a 99-year lease.
A 99-year lease? Why, he can't do that, George. Give me that phone. I'll break that lease for you.
Bill, how can you break the lease?
Listen, I didn't go to law school 2 months for nothing. Hello, landlord. I'm calling for George Burns. Now listen, you unethical, money-grabbing old... Me? I'm Bill Goodwin, and I'm telling you that if... You do? But gee, it is a wonderful soap, isn't it?
Bill, the lease. You said something about breaking the
Yes,
lease.
sir, landlord. That's exactly what I always say. Swan is the new, pure, white floating soap that's a honey for suds. Yes, sir, I never saw such suds in all my life. Fast, too.
Look, Bill, you came in, you said you had an
Oh,
idea
your wife,
about,
too,
huh?
Well, why shouldn't she be? Especially since there's a little baby in the house. Swan's perfect for bathing the baby. It's as mild and pure as the finest Castile soap. That's what makes it so swell for your face and hands. Yeah, like peaches and cream.
The lease, Bill. Break it.
Oh, yes.
Break it.
Oh, landlord, Mr. Burns suggests you break it.
Break it.
Yeah, break Swan in 2.
Yes, sir.
Use half in the kitchen for dishes and housework and put the other half in your bathroom for your shower or tub.
Look, Bill, you brought this on yourself.
Oh,
You see, I
that's
was
great.
minding my-
Just great. A cake of Swan in every office? Oh, thank you. Goodbye.
Well, that's a fine way to break a lease.
Now, wait a minute. You want to break the lease with a landlord who's going to give Swan soap to all his tenants? Why, shame on you. It's men like you who cause bottlenecks.
You're leaving so soon, Bill?
Well, yes. Gracie, your husband is without a doubt. Who's your friend?
Oh, him? Well, he's the gentleman I found out here in the hall. What'd you say your name was?
William Murray?
Mr. Murray is going in to see George.
Oh, well, chins up, Mr. Murray. So long.
All right, Mr. Murray. GB will see you now.
Well, what do I want to see him for?
Well, Mr. Burns just opened this office, and you can be his very first customer.
But I can't afford to buy anything, lady. You see, what with the $25,000 ceiling and the fact that I ain't worked in 12 years.
Oh. Why, it won't cost you a cent. Everything is with our compliments, absolutely free of charge. Go right in. I'll wait out here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
How'd do?
How'd do?
Nice office you have here.
Thanks.
Big.
Yeah.
Mighty big.
Mighty big. Who are you anyway, and what do you want?
I'm your first customer.
Customer?
Yeah, I'm kind of in a hurry, so if you don't mind, I'll just take one and go.
Take one what?
I don't know. What business are you in?
Radio programs.
Well, you better give me just a small one. I don't use them very often.
Look, Bud, you must be in the wrong office. I don't give away any samples. Now, there's the door right there.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry I took up your time.
That's all right. Goodbye.
In case I don't see you again, I'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Out.
Well, did you enjoy your visit with GB, Mr. Murray?
He gave me a brush.
Oh, well, that's nice. Take care of it. You never know what they'll ration next. Come again.
Pardon me, miss. I'm looking for the office of Rubicam and Young, attorneys at law.
Well, go right in. GB will be glad to see you.
Oh, is GB Rubicam or Young?
Well, he's not young.
Well, then he must be Rubicam. I'll go right in. Good afternoon.
Yes, what is it?
I'd like to divorce my husband.
Well, what's that got to do with me?
You're the man I want.
Who, me?
Yes. I want you to go to Reno with me.
What?
I'll pay all your expenses.
Oh, gee, this is very flattering, lady, but you see...
Then you go?
Well, look, I'm a married man.
What difference does that make? You're a lawyer, aren't you?
A lawyer? I'm no lawyer.
Oh, so you just wanted to hear my troubles, huh? Curious, huh?
Oh!
Hereafter you can listen to Mr. Anthony.
What's going on around here?
This way, Mr. Davis. Another customer, GB.
So you've been sending in these people?
Lady, I'm sort of in a hurry.
Oh, well, GB will take care of you right away, Mr. Davis.
Gee, lady, I don't know.
What is this? What does this guy want?
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'm sort of in a hurry.
Oh, your worries are over, Mr. Davis. Just ask my husband about whatever's on your mind. Go on, ask him.
Okay. Hey, mister, is there a place on this floor where a fella could wash his hands?
Out. You and your ideas. This office will drive me crazy. And I'm stuck with a 99-year lease.
Oh, you're worried about the lease? Well, I'll break it, that's all.
That's all, huh?
Well, where's the phone?
Just break it, that's all.
Hello?
Oh, boy.
Hello, is this the manager? Well, this is Mrs. Burns. I'd like to break my lease, please. You will? What? What? Oh, all right. Well, thank you very much. Goodbye. Well, it's all settled, dear. Come on home.
You mean you got me out of the lease?
Well, sure. All you have to do is pay him for 98 years.
98 years?
Yeah. He's given us the last year free to keep our friendship.
Oh.
George and Gracie will be right back. So I'm just going to say this. One thing you can be sure of about Swan soap, it agrees with your skin. And while it's just common sense, if you've got to keep your hands in water dozens of times a day, you might as well be using a soap you know will be kind to your hands. Remember that about Swan, huh? Well, now here are George and Gracie.
Oh, well, after a day like that, it's sure nice to be home in bed. Thank goodness that fella finally tore up the lease. Good night, sweetheart.
Good night, GB.
I'll stop with that GB. From now on, that office talk is out.
All right, George. Well, PD.
PD?
That's office talk for pleasant dreams.
Oh.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. These programs are shortwave to our armed forces everywhere. Remember, Swan now brings you 2 of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou every Friday night over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, hi, Swan. How about you?
Hello? Are you there? No, we're here.
Swan's the soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing to Swan.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, present the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. Yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the 6 hits and a miss, and George Burns and Gracie Allen. Now it's late afternoon, and we find George on his way home to Gracie. He has stopped in for a moment at the corner cigar store.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Burns.
Hello. 3 cigars, please.
The usual kind?
Uh-huh.
All right, here you are.
Thanks. Here's your quarter.
Thank you. Here's your 20 cents change.
Thanks.
You know, you're smart to buy these cigars, Mr. Burns. Tobacco's habit forming.
Well, I happen to like these cigars.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Burns. Yes, sir?
I'd like a pack of... Well, I'll be darned. George Burns.
Huh? Why, it's Lester Hamill.
Gee, George, I haven't seen you in years. How are you?
Fine, Lester. What are you doing out here in California?
Well, I've been here a couple of months. I'm working over at MGM.
MGM? You don't say. Well, what are you, an actor, director, writer?
I'm a plumber.
A plumber at MGM?
Yeah. I guess it don't seem possible to a movie fan, but even Irene Dunn has to wash her hands once in a while.
Well, so you're a plumber, huh?
Yeah, but don't tell anybody. You see, if it gets out around the lot, all those movie stars will try to borrow money from me.
I see. Gee, Lester, it's been years since we've worked together in New York.
Yeah, it sure has. Hey, I heard that you and Gracie Allen got married.
Uh-huh.
Just think, if she'd said no, you and I might be working together over at MGM.
Yeah, who knows? Say, Les, how would you like to have dinner with Gracie and me over at the house tonight?
Well, I'd love to,
but... come on, we'll talk over old times.
Well, I'll come on one condition, that you don't tell Gracie what I do at MGM.
Well, Gracie wouldn't mind.
Oh, it isn't exactly that. You see, I mean, with things the way they are now, every time I'm invited to somebody's house, I wind up fixing the sink.
Oh. Well, don't worry. Our sink is okay. And if it'll make you feel better, I won't mention that you're a plumber even to Gracie.
You promise, George?
I promise.
Okay. See you in about an hour.
Okay. Wait, Les. How would you like a cigar?
Oh, don't mind if I do.
Well, here, try one of mine.
Mr. Burns.
Yes?
You two are friends, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, why not keep it that way?
Thanks, Hello, sweetheart.
Hello, dear.
Say, I just met an old friend of mine down at the corner, and I invited him for dinner tonight. Is it all right?
Oh, dear, you would have to invite company the one night our sink is stopped up.
What?
Oh, I've been trying to get a plumber all day.
Well, never mind. I'll fix it.
Oh, all right. Who did you invite?
Oh, an old friend of mine, Lester Hamill. You don't know him. He's with MGM.
MGM? You mean he's in the movie business?
Well, in a way.
Is he a big executive?
Well, he's not exactly an executive.
Oh, go on. I'll bet he's in the president's office.
Well, as a matter of fact, he's in and out of all the offices.
Oh. Well, George, I'll be right back.
Well, where are you going?
Well, I've got to call Tootsie Sagwell. Oh, my, I hope she's home.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, Tootsie?
Oh, dear, always a soprano, never a baritone. Who's this?
Well, it's Gracie. Oh, Tootsie, I have the most exciting news. A big movie magnate is coming to my house for dinner.
Really? You mean...
Yes, it's our big chance, Tootsie. What we've been talking about for months. A chance to get you into the movie.
Oh, I'll be right over. What'll I wear? Let me see. I'd better wear something to show my legs off to the best advantage.
That's a good idea. How about your new corduroy slacks?
Don't worry. I'll think of something.
Oh, all right. Goodbye. Oh, George, I'm so thrilled about Mr. Hamill coming over. Now I'll be able to get Tootsie in pictures.
Gracie, Lester can't get Tootsie in pictures.
Oh, why not? Just last week she won a beauty prize.
Tootsie Sagwell won a beauty prize?
Uh-huh. Well, didn't you read in the paper how hundreds of girls were helping to pick the tomato crop? High school girls, society debutantes, and even movie stars?
Yes.
Well, they had a beauty contest, and Tootsie won it.
Really?
Yes. Of all those girls, she picked the most beautiful tomato.
Well, good for her.
Oh, and she's a very fine actress, too. When our club put on my sister Eileen, she had the part of Eileen, and she was wonderful.
But Eileen is a gorgeous young girl. How could Tootsie look the part?
Well, she didn't exactly, but we took care of that. We fixed up the plot a little bit and changed the title to My Brother Eugene.
Kid must have been sensational.
Hi, George. Hello, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Bill. You stay here and talk to George while I run into the kitchen. I want to see if there's enough for a big dinner.
Having company, George?
Yeah. You're invited if you'd like to come, Bill.
Oh, well, thanks, George, but I have to pick up a girl at Hollywood and Vine at 6 o'clock.
Who is she?
Well, how do I know who's going to be at Hollywood and Vine at 6 o'clock?
I thought maybe you'd like to stay. A friend of mine who works at MGM is coming over.
MGM? Oh, well, maybe I'd rather take potluck here. You know, George, I almost signed with MGM before Paramount grabbed me. You saw me in Wake Island.
Yes. Great 10 seconds.
Well, you know, it was a funny thing about that MGM deal. We just couldn't see eye to eye on a couple of very small things.
Like your salary?
No. For example, they considered me for that last Gable picture, George, and here's what they wanted to flash on the screen. Somewhere I'll find you, introducing handsome, talented Bill Goodwin with Clark Gable and Lana Turner.
Oh. But, you didn't want that.
Oh, no, George. Instead, I just wanted them to say, introducing Bill Goodwin. Through the courtesy of Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine cast steel and that gives lots of suds. Swan, the sud sensation of the century, with Clark Gable and Lana Turner.
Oh, I see. But they wouldn't put that on the screen, huh?
No.
Very unreasonable, yes.
Well, then they wanted me to play a scene where I grab Lana Turner in my arms and kiss her and kiss her and kiss her.
But that wouldn't do.
Oh, of course not. I'd rather do a scene where I talk to her.
Yeah, oh, brother. And you played a Marine in Wake Island.
Well, George, I wanted to say, Lana, darling, have you washed your dishes lately with Swan?
Win the award, yes.
Swan, you know, is great for doing the dishes, or for that matter, any soap and water job, because Swan not only gives you long-lasting, hard-working suds, but you can be sure that Swan is going to be kind to your hands. It's so pure and gentle, Lana.
Yes. But they wouldn't let you do that scene in the picture.
No.
You must have a very bad agent.
Well, then, George, then I wanted to make one more little change.
Yes, I suppose you wanted to change the title of the picture to, Somewhere I'll Find You Breaking Swan in Two so you can use half in the kitchen for your dishes and cleaning and the other half in the bathroom for your hands and face.
No. The change I wanted to make was a very small one. You know the lion they flash on the screen at the start of every MGM picture?
Yes.
I'm out of pages.
Well, take mine.
Yes. You know the lion that they flash on the screen at MGM pictures?
Yes.
Well, the idea of them saying a swan can't roar.
Good, but I'm not deaf. Don't holler so loud.
George, I'm coming back later and take it up with that friend of yours from MGM.
Now, Bill, wait. That couldn't... You see, what...
No, sir. I won't rest till I put swan prints in the cement at Grauman's Chinese.
Gracie, don't go to too much trouble about Lester.
But, George, he's a big movie man. Did you say he was a director or a producer?
Well, Lester handles lots of jobs at MGM. He's sort of a handyman, to have around.
Oh, men like that lead such glamorous lives, George. Oh, what a thrill it must be when he finishes a job and they put a big sign on it. This is a Lester Hamill production.
Oh, yes.
This is Paul Whiteman speaking. Jimmy Cash sings one of the top tunes, Dearly Beloved. Okay, Jimmy boy.
So I say, merely, dearly beloved, tell me that it's true. Tell me you agree. I was meant for you. You are meant for me. Dearly beloved, how clearly I see. Somewhere in heaven you were fashioned for me. Angel eyes knew you. Angel voices led me to you. Nothing could save me. Fate gave me a sign. I know that I'll be yours come shower or shine. So I say, dearly beloved.
when Mr. Hamill gets here, we'll make him feel at home by using movie talk. At dinner, when we serve the roast, I'll say, cut. And when it's time to pass the peas, I'll holler, roll 'em.
Gracie, I don't think Lester would kind of like that.
Oh, it's my darling little ducky. It's your bedtime, Herman. Say goodnight to Mama. Ah, good night, Herman. Now, what do you say to your daddy?
Go on, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed.
Come in.
Gracie, darling.
Tootsie Bagwell.
This is awful.
Gracie, do I look all right?
Well, no, Tootsie, your makeup is wrong. You shouldn't have rosebud lips.
I should?
No. What if your mouth is large? That's nothing to be ashamed of. When you put on lipstick, just follow the natural lines of your mouth.
Well, all right, I'll do it.
But after you get it on, don't smile. Lipstick looks so messy on the tips of your ears.
I'll be careful, Gracie. Gee, I wish there was some way to make my nose look shorter.
Oh, let me see.
With such a long nose.
Oh, I've got it. Now, later on, we'll serve tea, and I'll give you an empty cup. And then when Mr. Hamill looks at you, you can stick your nose in it.
Oh, Gracie, you're wonderful. You think of everything.
Well, now run along upstairs and get fixed. And I'll let you know when it's time to make your entrance.
I'll make you proud of me, Gracie.
Ah, what a dame. Why do you waste so much time with her, Gracie? Believe me, she'll never be another Veronica Lake.
Too tall, huh?
Yeah, too tall.
Come in.
Well, here I am, George.
Oh, hello, Lester. Here, let me take your hat. Gracie, this is my old friend, Lester Hamill.
Oh, Mr. Hamill, I'm so pleased to meet you. George told me about your job at MGM.
George, you promised that you wouldn't.
Well, Lester, I only told her.
Well, what if she does know? It's just between friends.
But, Lester, I didn't...
Oh, Mr. Hamill, your work sounds so exciting. Tell me, do you work close to all the big stars at MGM?
Oh, sure. Only yesterday I was in Jeanette McDonald's dressing room. She had trouble with her pipes.
Mr. Hamill, that's too bad. I love her voice.
And so do I.
What did you do?
Oh, I just stuck a monkey wrench down as far as I could, gave it a couple of turns.
Oh, my goodness. Well, tell me, Mr. Hamill, what happened?
Nothing. She just smiled and thanked me.
Oh, my. She must have an iron constitution.
Huh?
Gracie, I'm pretty sure Lester doesn't want to talk shop.
Oh, all right. We'll talk about us. You knew George even before I did, Mr. Hamill. What was he like in those days?
Well, he was quite a dresser, and nobody on Avenue A looked any better in peg-top pants. Hey, remember what they called you, George?
Yeah. Bo Burns.
Yeah, remember that pair of tan kid shoes you had with 6 pearl buttons up the side?
Oh, that reminds me, dear. I found that bottom pearl button and sewed it back on.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I'll bet you're surprised to see how domestic George is, aren't you, Mr. Hamill? I guess having a wife and a little son made him...
A son? Why, George Burns, you old son of a gun, you never told me. I didn't know you had a little boy.
Well, Lester, he isn't really...
Gee, I'd like to see the little fella.
Oh, well, he's taking a nap. He got sleepy after dinner. I guess he ate too many fish heads.
He eats fish heads?
Oh, yes, he loves them. They're so full of vitamins. Now, if you're very quiet, I'll open the kitchen door. He's sleeping under the stove. Mr. Hamill, would you like to see him?
I'll say I would.
All right. Oh, isn't he sweet? Isn't he cute, Mr. Hamill?
Yeah. You know, funny thing, the light was kind of dim in there, and for a minute I thought he was a duck.
Yes, it's bad light.
Oh, but after a second look, I knew he was George Burns' son, all right.
If you look once more, you'll see it was a duck.
Oh, my. It's getting late, isn't it? I wonder what can be keeping Tootsie upstairs.
Gracie, about Tootsie.
Well, I better run up and see. Pardon me a moment. Well, Tootsie, aren't you ready yet?
Gracie, how do I look? Glamorous?
Oh, Tootsie, you're gorgeous. Honestly, you look enough like Ann Sheridan to be her mother.
Oh, that's wonderful. wonderful. I'll be right down, Gracie, as soon as I finish powdering my nose.
Oh, good. And remember to make a grand entrance. We've got to impress Mr. Hamill with your poise and grace.
I know. I'm so nervous. I just hope at the last minute my oomph doesn't turn to blah.
Oh, Tootsie will be right down, Mr. Hamill.
Gracie, I don't think Lester is interested in Tootsie.
Oh, Mr. Hamill, Tootsie's a very remarkable girl. Why, she might turn out to be another Claudette Colbert, or Ginger Rogers, or Jean Hersholt.
Gracie, Jean Hersholt is a man.
Oh, well, you see what a remarkable girl Tootsie is?
She does sound like one.
Oh, she is. Oh, look. There's Tootsie at the head of the stairs now.
Ah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I join you?
Well, by all means, come right down, Tootsie.
All right, here I come.
Mr. Hamill, I'd like you to meet Miss Sagwell.
How do you do?
We've had a lot of war songs, but it looks like this is really it. Pass the Ammunition with 6 hits and a miss.
Down went the gunner, a bullet was his fate. Down went the gunner, and then the gunner's mate. Up jumped the sky pilot, gave the boys a look,
and manned the gun himself as he lay beside the book, shouting, "Praise the Lord, and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord, and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord, and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free."
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord.
And swing into position.
Can't afford to sit around a-wishing. Praise the Lord. We're all between perdition and the deep blue sea.
Yes, the sky pilot said it. You gotta give him credit.
For a son of a gunner was he. Shout it.
Praise the Lord.
We're on a mighty mission. All aboard, we're not a-going fishing. Praise the Lord, and pass the ammunition, and we'll all stay free. Come on and pass the ammunition, and we'll all be on board. Praise the Lord.
In the living room and continue our discussion.
Well, Gracie, I'm glad I came back. That was certainly a nice dinner.
Oh, well, thanks, Bill. Now, Mr. Hamill, don't you think Tootsie Sagwell would be wonderful in pictures?
Gracie, Mr. Hamill doesn't want to hear any more about Tootsie. You talked his ear off all through dinner.
Oh, but there are a lot of angles she hasn't mentioned yet.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Hamill. In fact, Tootsie has more angles than any girl I've ever met.
And in the funniest places. But be that as it may, Mr. Hamill, I've been trying to get in a word with you all evening myself. I guess you know that I just finished starring in Wake Island.
You movie people are funny, Mr. Hamill. You scour the country for talent, but when it's right under your nose, you ignore it. Now look at Mickey Rooney. He always had the talent he has now. Why wasn't he a star 25 years ago?
Because he wasn't born yet.
Oh, George, you and your silly argument.
I guess so, yeah.
Yes, Gracie's right about talent, Mr. Hamill. Now, when I made Wake
And
Island...
that isn't all either. Think of Robert Taylor for a minute. And then think of Cary Grant and Tyrone Power and Melvin Douglas.
Gracie, not so fast. I'm not through with Robert Taylor yet.
This is the silliest talk I ever heard in my life.
Well, speaking of handsome leading men, when I made Wake Island...
It isn't silly. I'm trying to convince Mr. Hamill that Tootsie might be an undiscovered star.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Hamill. Now, when I made Wake Island... Well, now, when I made Wake Island...
And that isn't all. You movie people think just because a girl is beautiful, she can't have any talent. Well, look at Tootsie.
What for?
Now, I wouldn't say that Tootsie is better looking than Lana Turner, would you, Mr. Hamill? No, I wouldn't say that because I have a reason not to. I don't believe in knocking the other fellow's product.
Oh, you're right. Now, when I made Wake Island...
Oh, sit down with that Wake Island.
Well, that does it. I can take a hint. If you don't want to listen to me, I'm going and I'm never coming back. But mark my words, George, you'll miss me. The next time you have guests and there's a lull in the conversation, who's going to jump up and say, have you heard about Swan, the new white floating soap that's a baby gentle whiz for suds? More suds than you ever saw in your life. Who's going to say that?
Well, I'll just have to jump up myself. I'm a very high jumper, you know. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Oop, and I'm up.
And 6 o'clock in the morning, who's going to phone you and say, George, time to get up and take your shower with Swan. Swan, the soap that's so great for your shower or bath because it's as mild as fine Castile soaps. So pure it's perfect for a little baby's tender skin. Who's going to do that?
Croveney, Dittenfest, Newman, Sam Tralafash.
Oh, all right.
I've got thousands of friends.
Well, let them do it then. Let them do it. But I'm going. What's more, I had some great news for you, but now you can find it out for yourself. Goodbye.
Oh, Bill, wait. What's the news?
Oh, no. Goodbye.
Oh, come on, Bill. What's the news?
Well, lots of dealers right now are running a special sale on Swan. You buy 3 bars and save. Swan gives you more real soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested, and it goes further than easily wasted package soaps. So when you buy 3 bars, you save in more ways than one. Well, you made me tell you, but I'll never open my mouth again. I'm going. I know when I'm not wanted. I'll never set foot in this house again as long as I live. Well, that's that. So long, everybody. See you tomorrow, George.
Someday that kid will stop hinting and come right out with it.
Oh, let me see now, where was I? Oh, yes, Tootsie Sagwell. Would you believe, Mr. Hamill, that Tootsie Sagwell is just as talented as she is beautiful?
That he'd believe. Yes.
I wasn't talking to you, George. What do you think, Mr. Hamill? Then, as I was saying, your studio will make a big mistake if they don't sign her. She has all the qualities that a great actress needs. Poise, emotion, subtlety, loud voice. Would you like to hear a sample of her work? Well, of course you would. You should hear her do a big dramatic scene where she has to be heartbroken. Oh, she's wonderful, aren't you, Tootsie? Uh-huh. Oh, nobody can cry like Tootsie. Nobody can say, goodbye, Joe. Goodbye. Don't forget me, Joe. Don't forget our home. Don't forget the children. Don't sit under the apple tree. Nobody can do that. She's dynamic, aren't you, Tootsie? Uh-huh. Oh, wasn't that the best heartbreak you ever heard, Mr. Hamill? But Tootsie's Wicked Vampire is even better. Oh, she does it with the French accent. Do you not, Tootsie? Uh-huh. Oh, you should hear her when she say, I am irresistible. Comme si? I am enchanting. Comme ça? Yes, comme si? No, comme ça? Why don't you come see me sometime, comme ça? Oh, she's marvelous. Don't you think so, Tootsie? Uh-huh. Well, that gives you an idea of her talent, Mr. Hamill. Oh, when can you get her to get a screen test?
This is going far enough. Look, Gracie, Lester does work at MGM, but he's not a producer. He's a plumber.
A plumber? What? Well, my goodness, why didn't you tell me before?
Well, he asked me not to. I guess he thought you wouldn't be impressed.
Well, that's silly. I think plumbers are wonderful people, and I'm proud to have a husband who's a plumber's friend.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. Of course, this means Lester can't get Tootsie a job.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, George. Mr. Hamill, Tootsie's not only a great actress, but she's strong. Show me your muscle, Tootsie. Yeah, that's right. Well, Mr. Hamill, how about giving her a chance as your helper? Oh, thank you, Mr. Hamill. Isn't it thrilling, Tootsie? I've got a job for you in pictures. You're going to be a plumber's helper at MGM.
Well, I've carried a torch for lots of men, so I might as well carry one for him.
Oh, imagine Mr. Hamill not wanting to say he was a plumber. Why didn't you tell us, Mr. Hamill?
I thought maybe you wouldn't. Gee, listen to me. I'm talking.
Go on. Go right ahead, Lester.
Why, Mr. Hamill, I'd rather have you in our house tonight than the president of MGM.
You would?
Yes, of course I would. Could Louis B. Mayer fix a sink? Come along in the kitchen, Mr. Hamill.
Well, George and Gracie will be right back. Meanwhile, I'd like to remind you to stop in where you see a dealer displaying the Swan sign that says, buy 3 bars and save. If you haven't yet tried Swan, now's a swell time to do it. See if you don't find that Swan always saves you money, sale or no sale. Saves because it takes the place of expensive toilet soaps. And saves because Swan also does away with the need for easily wasted package soaps. So now's the time to swing to Swan. Now, when you can buy 3 bars and save. And now here are George and Gracie.
Boy, this sink is really stopped up. Look, it's overflowing. And what'd you do, Mrs. Burns? Pour grease down the drain?
Oh, no, Mr. Hamill. I save all our bacon grease and waste kitchen fats and take them to my meat dealer. Everybody should do that, you know. The government needs waste fats for bombs and bullets. So it can't be grease in the sink.
Well, there's water all over the floor. Something must be clogging up the sink.
I wonder what it could be.
Well, I don't know. Let's pull out the stopper and look.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. These programs are shortwave to our armed forces everywhere. Remember, Swan now brings you 2 of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou every Friday night over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pies, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say you're going to try today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Hello, are you there? Well, we're here at Camp Elliott with Marines. Yeah.
Swan, the soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing this one.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, presents the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singer, Jimmy Cash. Yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the 6 hits and a miss, and George Burns and Gracie Allen. Well, now let's look in and see what's doing at the Burns home.
Gracie.
In the living room, dear.
Gracie, what happened? I looked in the drawer, and I haven't got a single clean shirt.
Oh, darling, I forgot to tell you. Our laundress quit. Oh, she wasn't a very good laundress anyway. Remember how she used to cut the tails off your shirts to make her work easier?
Yes, it's just as well she's gone.
Well, she's got a job over at Consolidated now, making airplanes. Oh, that reminds me. I better call Consolidated and warn them.
Why?
Airplanes have tails, too.
Well, Gracie, don't bother. Do you think that you could wash out a shirt for me?
Oh, well, I'd be glad to, Judge, but I'm expecting 2 of the girls from my club any minute.
Oh, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
Yes.
what are those hens going to cackle about today?
Well, George, that's no way to talk about your wife and your wife's friends.
Oh, I didn't mean you, dear.
Well, it's no way to talk about those other hens either.
Believe me, honey, washing a few shirts wouldn't hurt any of those dames.
But, George, we work hard. We have to in times like these. We even do jobs for each other if they're the same amount of work.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, for instance, Ruthie Palmtag and Clara Bagley have a deal. Ruthie mows Clara's lawn and Clara cuts Ruthie's hair.
Well, I guess that's even. They're both green.
Well,
you know,
the Beverly Hills Uplift Society is doing everything it can to help win the war. Hardly a week goes by that we don't send out a long list of helpful suggestions.
Suggestions? Well, who do you send them to?
General MacArthur.
Well, oh, fine. That's all we need.
Oh, yeah? Well, he wrote back and said if our ideas were used, the war would be over in 2 weeks.
Well, I'd rather take a little longer and win it. You see what I mean? Look. Why don't you girls do something constructive?
Well, we do. We save all our waste kitchen fat and take it to our butcher. The government uses it to make bombs and bullets.
Well, now you're doing something.
Why, Blanche Morton alone has turned in 11 pounds of fat this week.
Well, why? Well, why does she cook so much? There's the worst cook in the whole world. Her food is enough to kill you.
Well, that's the idea. She can't invite the whole German army to dinner, so she figures if her cooking doesn't get them one way, it'll get them another.
And, of course, we must drop a few of our biscuits on the Japs, too.
Yes.
Yes, remind me to do that.
Oh, that must be the girls now. Come in.
Oh, hello, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Ruthie. Hello, Clara. Ruthie, I was just telling George about the deal you two had, where you mow Clara's lawn and she cuts your hair.
What do you think of it, Mr. Burns?
Well, it's very interesting, only it looks like the wrong one is using the lawnmower. Well, excuse me, girls. I've got to go and wash a shirt. I'll be in the kitchen there.
Oh, all right.
Honestly, Gracie, sometimes I wonder why you married that man.
Oh, it was love. I didn't have much choice.
Well, obviously not. Well, look, Gracie, what we came to talk to you about, we want to help the war workers. Now, there are lots of mothers who have babies in defense class.
My goodness, the hospitals must be crowded.
No, Gracie. Now, you see, while these mothers are working, they need someone to take care of the children. Can we count on you to help?
Oh, yes, I love babies. I practically raised my little nephew, John Cachu Allen.
The child's name was John Cachu Allen?
Yes, the minister who christened him had a very bad cold.
But, Gracie, the child we're leaving with you isn't exactly...
Oh, I adore babies. I still have little Johnny's first pair of shoes. Wait, I'll show them to you. I'll be right back.
Oh, poor Gracie. I hope she won't be too disappointed when she finds out the baby we're leaving with her is 10 years old. Yes, Bobby Ross. He's tough as nails. Here comes Gracie.
Oh, here they are, girls. Look, little Johnny's first shoes. I had them gilded. Aren't they sweet?
Sweet? Why, my husband could wear these. Were those his first shoes?
Yes. He didn't move into town until he was 24.
We'll have to run along, Gracie. We're going to let you take care of little Bobby Ross. He'll be here in a couple of hours.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, I can't wait to tell George that we're going to have a little baby in the house. I wonder if the baby will change George. I wonder if George will change the baby.
Gracie, have those club women left?
Yes, dear.
Well, thank goodness. What were you talking about?
The baby.
Well, who's going to have a baby?
We are.
Oh, we are. Well, if one of... We are?
Yes.
We're going to have a baby?
Yeah. Are you happy, George?
Happy? Why, I'm delirious. I'm a father. I'm a success. I may have been late getting started, but look, I'll canter.
Oh, I'm so glad you're taking it like this.
Oh, boy. I'm going to run down the corner and get cigars for the fella. Now, you just lie down, honey. I'll be right back. Just think. I'm going to have a cigar. I mean, a baby. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, watch where you... Oh, George. Well, what's the rush? What's the matter?
Oh, Bill, I just heard the greatest news a man can hear.
Oh, so you heard it too?
True. I'm the only one who knows.
Oh, now don't be silly, George. It's all over town.
All over town?
Why, of course. It's even on a billboard at the corner.
Oh, no.
Well, George, why not? Why keep it a secret?
But, Bill...
Now, George, if a lot of dealers want to run a special sale on Swan soap, I think people ought to know about it. After all, here's their chance to buy 3 bars of Swan and save. Why keep news like that a secret?
But, Bill, that's not what I meant. I'm going to have a baby.
After all, George, Swan is the new white floating soap that gives you all those mild, pure suds so fast. And a Swan sale is big news. Although Swan saves you money, sale or no sale. You see, Swan not only gives you more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested, but for housework, Swan saves again. Because it goes further than easily wasted packaged soaps. And it... You're going to have a baby?
Why, yes, Bill.
Well, gee, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Well,
Well, imagine me talking about Swan when you're expecting a baby. I'm sorry, George.
Oh, that's all right. You see...
I didn't give you a chance to tell me about it.
Oh, that's all right. You see...
I feel like a heel.
Oh, that's all right. You see,
here
Gracie
you are
and
telling me you're having a baby, and I just stand here and go on talking about Swan.
Oh, that's all right. You see,
the soap that's as mild as the finest Castile. The soap that's so mild and gentle it's kind to your hands, no matter what soap and water job you use it for. Oh, George, I'm just a false friend.
Oh, Bill, forget it.
Well, gee, thanks. When do you expect a baby, George?
My gosh, I forgot to ask Gracie. Just a minute. Gracie?
Yes, dear?
When are we expecting the baby? March, April, May?
Oh, it should be here in about 2 hours.
2 hours? Bill, go for a doctor. Okay.
This is Paul Whiteman, and here's Jimmy Cash to sing one of the country's most popular love songs, Starlight Sonata. Okay, Jimmy.
You're my song from a world way up high. You are my starlight sonata out of the midnight sky. There's no melody sung by a bard sweet as my starlight sonata after the sky grows dark. Your arms are such a thrilling place when we embrace like this. The promise of eternal love is trembling in your kiss. Twilight sings of a heaven to be, bringing my starlight sonata straight from your heart to me.
Well, Gracie is waiting to take care of the defense worker's baby, while poor George still thinks he's going to become a father.
Now, just lie down, dear, and take it easy. Would you like another pillow under your head?
Oh, I wish I knew what's come over you, George. All this fuss over one little baby. Suppose I was going to have 4 or 5 of them.
At once?
Well, I'd be glad to do it if you'd like me to.
Oh, gosh. Why doesn't Bill get here with that doctor?
What's the matter? Don't you feel well?
Of course I feel well. The doctor is for you and the baby.
Oh, I see what you mean. He examines the baby, and then if he isn't healthy, we give him back and get another one.
I can't understand what's... Oh, there's Bill and the doctor. Now, you stay right here. I'll answer the door. Come in.
Oh, hi, George. Here's the doctor you wanted. This is Mr. Burns, Doc.
How do you do? How do you do? That'll be $5, please.
Well, for Pete's sake, Bill, this is Dr. Lewis. I don't want him.
Well, gee, I'm sorry. I just grabbed the first one I found. What's wrong with him?
Well, this guy is a screwball.
Well, let's get down to business, Mr. Screwball. Unusual name, by the way. Only heard it once before. A woman I know told me your husband was a screwball.
Well, I don't care what she told you.
Charming woman, delightful. Great friend of mine. Married to her, come to think of it.
Bill, why did you do this to me?
Now, look, George, I just stood on a corner and yelled, I want a doctor. Who'd you expect to answer, the Mayo brothers?
Well, never mind. Just get him out of here, will you? Out.
Well, I guess we'd better leave, Dr. Lewis. My friend's a little jittery.
Yes, I noticed that, Mr. Jittery. Very bad, very bad. Does he happen to have a toothache?
No, there's nothing wrong with my teeth. But my head is beginning to ache.
Just as I thought. Well, I'd advise you to have it pulled out.
Well, and I'd advise you to get out. Now, go on. Scram.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's get down to business, Mr. Scram.
My name is Burns.
To be sure. My wits must have been gathering wool. Well, let's get down to business, Mr. Wool.
Burns.
Naturally, wool burns. Has a horrible odor, too. Well, let's get down to business, Mr. Odor.
Bill, you better remove this character before I murder him.
Okay, George. Come along, Dr. Lewis.
To be sure. Is it too late to catch the 4 o'clock bus?
No, it's only 1 o'clock now.
Oh, dear. Missed it again. Well, goodbye.
Of all the silly, idiotic things he had...
Doctor, did he leave?
Well, don't worry. Now, I'll get another one. Now, you just lie down, and I'll go in the kitchen and fix you a nice glass of warm milk. And don't move until I get back.
All right, dear. My, he's sweet today. I wonder if he's been playing poker again. Come in.
Oh, hello, Gracie. I brought over the child that you're to care for, little Bobby Ross.
Oh, how nice, Ruthie. Where is he?
Right behind me. Drop that frog, Bobby, and come on in.
Okay. Is this where I'm going to hang out?
Yes. Well, take good care of him, Gracie. I'll pick him up later. Goodbye.
Goodbye. My, Bobby, you're bigger than I expected. You're quite a handsome little man.
Take it easy, lady. I'm going steady.
Oh. Well, tell me about yourself, Bobby. Where does your mother work?
On one of the airplane plants. She works on the propellers.
My goodness. I should think she'd get dizzy spinning around like that. Do you think you're going to like it here, Bobby?
Yeah, this is a swell joint.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm mowing them down. Don't you see him up there?
Where?
There goes a Stuka. There goes a Messerschmitt.
Why, you're a regular quiz kid. Imagine knowing the scientific names of those mosquitoes.
Are you kidding? Say, I'm hungry. You got any chow?
Yeah, there's some fruit out in the dining room. Get yourself an apple.
Okay, don't care if I do.
Oh, can't help wishing he was just a little smaller.
Here's your milk, Gracie. Did you keep quiet while I was gone?
Yes, Judge, perfectly quiet. Oh, by the way, while you were out in the kitchen, the baby came.
The baby?
Yes, but he's just a little bit...
Where is he?
Well, he's in the dining room. He's getting an apple.
Getting an apple?
Yeah, he's a little older than I expected, George, but I'm glad to care for any child whose mother works in the defense plant.
I don't get it. You mean the baby isn't out?
No, dear, we're taking care of Mrs. Ross's boy while she's working at Consolidated.
Gee, I'm not a father. So what'll I say to the boys? What about all those cigars? I feel terrible.
Oh, buck up, George. Remember that inspiring poem of Kipling's that I always quote? If you can lose your head and never keep the common touch, if you can walk with kings while the dawn comes up like thunder, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Now I feel better, yeah.
The Six Hits and a Miss and the boys in the band and yours truly have brought a little fat man over here to Camp Elliott to join the Marines. He's overweight, but a few weeks in boot camp will put him in fine shape. Going to give him to you right now. It's Mr. 5x5.
Twirl my turban, man alive. Here comes Mr. 5x5. He's one of those big fat mountain boys, solid average of poise. Mr. 5x5. He's 5 feet tall and he's 5 feet wide. He don't
no more from head to toe than he do from side to side. Mr. 555, the 15 pin and a line of jive. He's a mellow old cat, a real hep fan. He be Mr. 555. That man can really jump it for a fat man.
Boy, the only trouble is there's no way of knowing
whether he's coming on or going. 555. He's like the glove on the solid side. He don't shake it no more from head to toe than he do from side to side. Mr. 555.
Hide me, Gracie. Hide me from the kid.
Where is Bobby? You're supposed to be playing with him.
I've played with him for 3 hours and I'm worn out. If his mother works overtime tonight, I'm dead.
Well, did you play games?
Yeah, games. I was supposed to be a Japanese zero and he shot me down 5 times.
Oh, yes. I thought that would be fun. I hope you didn't mind the little extra touch I added.
What extra touch?
Telling him to put a lighted cigar in your pants pocket so you come down with your fuselage smoking.
So that's where he got that idea. I wish I'd never set eyes on that kid.
Here. You're a zero. I'm going to get you. You're down.
Okay. I'm down. Now let go of my sleeve. What are you doing?
I'm tearing off a piece of your wing for a souvenir.
Now cut it out. And I'm not going to play any more zero with you.
Okay, you make a lousy zero anyway. My grandmother is more maneuverable.
Why, you...
Oh, now,
little...
dear, please. Oh, I'll tell you what, Bobby. Suppose I tell you a story. I hate stories.
You hate stories, huh?
Sure, they're corny.
Gracie, tell them a story and make it long.
All right. I'll tell you the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Oh, brother. Now, once upon a time, there were 3 little bears who lived in an itty-bitty pool. And whenever they huffed and puffed, they blew it down. Is she on the level?
Keep your yap close, kid. Go ahead, Gracie.
Well, one day, a girl named Little Red Goldilocks was riding through the woods in a pumpkin coach. She came to the itty-bitty pool and knocked on the door, but nobody answered, so she climbed up the beanstalk and went in. Hey, lady!
Shut up. Go on, Gracie.
Well, while she was asleep, the 3 little bears came home and they said, "Fee, fo, fi, fum, I smell." Little Red Goldilocks tried to run away, but she had very small feet, and at midnight the bears caught her and hit her on the head with a glass slipper.
Oh, go on.
That's all.
That's the story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, kid, shoot me down again.
There must be some way to entertain you that's not quite so noisy. Oh, I have it. I'll get my little duck Herman. Now, don't go away now.
Now, listen, son.
You're a zero.
Oh, stop it. Is the Air Force the only branch of the service?
It's the loudest.
Well, ground yourself.
Hiya, George. Is the baby here yet?
Yeah, this is it, Bill.
This?
It was all a mistake. We're just keeping this kid while his mother is at work. I'm not going to be a father.
Oh, well, gee, that's too bad. I'm sorry, old man.
Fine time to call me old man.
What else can he call you?
Keep quiet before I give you a hit in the head.
George, never tell a child you're going to give him a hit in the head. Never.
Bill, believe me, it wouldn't do any harm to this kid.
But George, you don't understand child psychology. You've got to talk the kid's language. Treat him as your pal, your chum.
You can do that, huh?
Why, of course. Watch this. Hello, Bobby, little pal. Let you and I smear dirt all over our faces and play commando. What do you say, little chum?
Commando? You said it, pal. Let's go.
Okay. And when we get through, we'll go upstairs and wash our little face and hands with Swan, huh? You know. You know Swan, the new white floating soap that gives you all that swell baby gentle lather so fast. What do you say, little chum?
You trying to make a stooge out of me?
That psychology is great. I wouldn't be without it more, Bill. More psychology.
Well, I can see that Bobby
Talk right
likes
up,
to
Bill.
talk straight from the shoulder. Man to man, eh, little chum?
You shut up, wavy wig.
Yeah, go right ahead, Wavy Wig. Give him that man-to-man stuff.
Well, I will, George. Little pal, man to man, you can't buy a purer soap than Swan. Swan's as mild as the finest Castiles. So mild it's swell for even a baby's tender skin. So naturally it's great for your bath or shower. What say you go upstairs and try it, huh, little pal?
Just a minute, Bright Eyes. Are you trying to little pal me into a bathtub?
Psychology, Bill. Psych him, Bill. Psychology.
Okay.
Psych him.
All right, Bobby.
Give him a big psych.
I'll psych him. I promise not to mention Swan soap again unless you ask me about it. How's that?
It's a deal.
Okay, little chum. Now, you ever seen one of those big Catalina flying boats? A fella your size could crawl right into one of those floats on the wing.
What float?
Swan floats, and thanks for asking. Yes, sir. Now that you brought it up, Bobby, I might mention that you can break Swan in two and use half in the kitchen for dishes and housework and half in the bathroom for your hands and face or your bath. One soap for the whole house, little chum.
Cross me up, huh? Now you're a zero.
George, do me a favor.
What?
Give that kid a hit in the head. Goodbye.
Yeah, kid. Everybody loves you.
Oh, here we are, Herman. Now say hello to your little friend, Bobby.
You're a zero, Herman.
Oh, boys, please. Herman, why don't you sing a song for Bobby? Oh, come on. I'll tell you what. We'll sing 3 blind mice like we always do, all right? Good. Now you start it off and then I come in. Go. 3 blind mice. See how they run. Don't you remember the rest of it, sweetheart? Oh, come on, try again. 3 blind mice. See how they run. Herman, I'm surprised at you. Even a baby could remember that song. Now, I'll start this time, and you follow me. 3 blind mice. See how they run. Let's play something else. You're a zero, Bobby.
Quiet. I wish somebody would fire a real machine gun at me, full loaded with aspirin. Listen. Come in.
Oh, good evening, Gracie. Well, Bobby's mother has finished work, and I've come to take him home.
Well, I never thought I'd say that, Mrs. Palmtag, but bless your heart. Now I can get some rest. Okay, Bobby, out.
Oh, by the way, in Bobby's place, I'm leaving another child to spend the night with you.
Oh, no.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, George? We're going to be parents on the swing shift.
Yeah. It's really wonderful.
Well, come in, Jenny, and say hello to Mr. and Mrs. Burns.
Hello. Oh, a little girl. Oh, George, isn't she the sweetest thing you ever saw?
Yeah, she's cute. Yeah, but if we have to have a kid around here, I'm glad it's a little girl. Hiya, Jenny. What's the good word?
You're a zero.
Oh, no!
George and Gracie will be right back, so I'm just going to say, don't forget that special sale on Swan soap that so many dealers are running right now. Buy 3 bars and save. And I do mean save. Because sale or no sale, Swan saves you money. Use Swan for dishes and housework, and you save because Swan goes further than easily wasted package soap. Use Swan for your hands and face or for your bath, and you save again because Swan gives you more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested. So come on, swing to Swan now, when you can buy 3 bars and save. Well, here they are, George and Gracie.
Oh, George, wasn't it fun doing our show down here at Camp Elliott today?
Yes, and I'm especially glad that we're here today. It happens to be the Marine's birthday.
Oh, well, that's wonderful, George.
Today the Marines are 167 years old.
Oh, really? Well, some of them don't look it.
Oh, congratulations.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. These programs are shortwave to our armed forces everywhere. Remember, Swan now brings you 2 of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou every Friday night over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout what a delight. For cake, pies, donuts, and things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.